Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today between the Seattle Mariners and the Miami Marlins. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes, so let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, second baseman stud Cole Clutch Young. And on the right, Miami's very own Owen Casey. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at third base, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting third, DHing for Seattle, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing first base, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting sixth, playing right field, Luke Raley. Batting seventh, playing second base, Cole Clutch Young. Batting eighth, playing center field, Victor Robles. And batting ninth, shortstop, the phenom, Colt Emerson. And on the mound for the Mariners, one of our top aces, 7-6 record, ERA of 4.17. It is Brian Wu. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Miami Marlins. 23-8 record since June 1st, and that's number one in MLB. So not only we are playing a very hot team in the Marlins, we got the Tampa Bay Rays next, the best team in the American League. We have to do our best on this last road trip in Florida. Let's get it, baby. Leading off for the Marlins at DH, Liam Hicks. Batting second, playing first base, Kyle Stowers. Batting third, playing shortstop for Miami, Otto Lopez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, second baseman, Xavier Edwards. Batting fifth, playing left field, Griffin Conine. Batting sixth, playing right field, Owen Casey. Batting seventh, playing center field, Jacob Marcy. Batting eighth, catching today for Miami, Joe Mack. And batting ninth, playing third base, Javier Sanoa. And on the mound for the Marlins, their number one ace. He's an all-star this year and has a nasty sweeper. 9-1 record, believe it or not. ERA of 2.53. It is Max Meyer. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. And obviously with the recent emergency vet visit and everything that's been going on, every single dono this month will go towards that emergency vet bill, and any type of support that we can get would be greatly appreciated. '50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners, 40 plus years on the radio for this icon and legend who's retiring at the end of the season. So every stream will be dedicated to one of my favorites of all time, Rick Riz. We love you. All right, baby. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. This is going to be a good test. But it's not going to be easy. You know, this is the hottest team in baseball since June 1st. And then right after this, we go to Tampa and play the number one team in the American League, one of the hottest teams in baseball as well. So again, in this last 6-game stretch, We want to try to go, 4 wins, 2 losses, win 2 out of 3, unless we're lucky enough to sweep one of these teams. But again, realistically, it'll probably be 3-3. But the last thing that we want is to go 2-4 or worse. We definitely want to, make sure we win as many as possible. We don't want to, get swept back to back going into the All-Star break. And again, we definitely have been pitching well. The hitting has been kind of hit or miss, but at times it's been amazing. But again, we do sometimes struggle on the road. It's most likely going to be probably slim pickings with Max on the mound, the All-Star. Got a nasty sweeper, so we got to make sure we try to rough him up a little bit. Hopefully we can get a run or 2 on him before he exits, and then we just got to hope that we can rough up the bullpen as well. Hawks in the building. What's good? Callie in the building. All day in the building. Sly in the building. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, Miami to Tampa Bay, but I don't think I would really want to play these 2 teams right now. The hottest team since June 1st, the Miami Marlins, and the best team in the American League, even more than the Yankees, right? The Tampa Bay Rays. So, it's really going to show, how we match up, to these teams. Miami may or may not be a playoff team this year. They're sitting at 3rd in their division. Tampa definitely is making the playoffs. And not only that, they have a chance to actually beat the Yankees in the division if they can keep it up for the whole year. But again, I'm always up for a challenge, and we're definitely going to be playing up to the competition, not playing down. And, if you're looking at this Miami lineup, nobody really screams at you because not a lot of people really know, I feel, the roster. But they have 2 players that are above 300 and a couple guys right below. So we'll see how it all plays out. First pitch from Meyer to J.P. Crawford. Takes a strike low and away. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a changeup, 86 miles an hour there by Meyer. 1-1 pitch from Meyer. Slider, 90 miles an hour, high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Meyer to Crawford. J.P. Crawford in the box. Max Meyer, 9-1 record, ERA of 2.53, is an all-star, nasty sweeper. And again, hopefully we'll be able to get a few, RBIs, maybe at least 1 home run, I'm hoping, and we got to be able to hopefully bunt, here and there as well. We got to do everything we can. Be patient in the box is number 1. Pitches high and away. Good take there by JP. 3 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. 3-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 95 miles an hour there by Meyer. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to JP Crawford, our most patient hitter on the team besides Dominic Canzone. All-Star game is 1 week away, and obviously the Home Run Derby will be something that we'll do here as well as the All-Star game. 3-2 pitch, and JP strikes out looking, unfortunately, and that is 1 away. Down goes JP. Next up, left fielder Randy Arosarena. On deck, the Italian stallion Dominic Canzone. First pitch is high and inside to Randy Arosarena. Has to kind of duck out of the way. Sinker, 95 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Tried ends up. Let's go M's. 1-0 pitch. Takes a strike right down the middle with a sweeper, 90 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Meyer to Arosarena. Rebecca in the building. What's good? Big swing and a miss. Right down the middle there from Arosarena. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Meyer to Arosarena. And again, they have Hicks at 290. Lopez is at 346. Edwards is at 302. And Sanoja is at 278. So they got 2 guys above 300, 2 guys right below. So again, they are the hottest team in baseball since June 1st. But that doesn't mean that we can't beat them. 1-2 pitch, a little slow dribbler up the middle, throw to first, and that is 2 away. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. Realistically, could we only win one game out of 3 in this series and in Tampa Bay? Yeah, it's very possible, but I'm hoping that we can go 3-3 or better. I would really hope we can go 4-2 and win 2 games in each series. But again, we would have to play amazing for that to happen. But I do believe in this team. Next up is the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Chris in the building. What's good? Julie in the building. Rebecca in the building. Shout out to our female audience, as well as all of our new subs, as well as people watching all over the globe in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond. First pitch is high and away from Meyer. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Low and at the knees. And again, you've seen the patience out of JP and Dom. And if they're able to get the pitch count up and wait for that perfect pitch, not only is it going to draw walks, get the pitch count up, but you have a better chance of getting a hit. And Dom has been, drastically improved from previous seasons. 2-0 pitch is high and away. Good take there. 3 balls, no strikes to Dominic Canzone. Now, if we can just get everyone else to be like JP and Dom in the box and be patient, good things will definitely happen. Velasco in the building. What's good? 3-0 pitch. Takes a strike high and away. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike from Meyer to Canzone. Let's go. 94 subs away from 24,500. 3-1 pitch in there for a strike. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. 3-2 pitch, and down goes Dom. That was nasty. And again, when you see the sweeper and you start seeing some of the pitch, arsenal that Meyer has, it's definitely going to be tough. And down goes Canzone, and that is out number 3. And again, this is probably the best pitcher that we have faced record-wise all year. 9-1, ERA of 2.53, made the All-Star game for the first time, got a nasty sweeper. We just got to try to do our best and try to at least get a run or 2, but it may be slim pickings, and we may have to wait until he exits, but hopefully he exits in the 6th, not the 7th or the 8th, or we might be screwed. All right, next up here for the Miami Marlins, leading off, DHing Liam Hicks. Batting second, first baseman Kyle Stowers. And batting third, shortstop Otto Lopez. And on the mound for the Mariners, 7.6 record, ERA of 4.17, it is Brian Wu. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 94 subs to go, do 24,500. Let's see where we're at on the likes as we go to the bottom of the first inning here early on Tuesday afternoon. And we're at 26 likes. Good start. 74 to go. Paisley, Nathan is doing better. Obviously, I'm about to run out of dog food, if I'm being honest. And so, with paying $1,100 in the last 3 months to go to the vet 3 times has really hurt me bad. So anything that can be done to try to, help me out to kind of stay afloat would be greatly appreciated. Petco, obviously grabbing a bag of food for a month is about $80. So anything that can be done, to be able to kind of help me out on any given matter, whether it's helping out with Paisley's vet visit that cost $400 a couple days ago, or helping out on the dog food that I'm going to have to try to get. She's getting close to running out, and I want to make sure she has food. So anything that can be done, it would be greatly appreciated. And again, everything that we get donated on the channel this entire month will go towards that vet bill, and anything to be able to just make things a little bit more comfortable for me, since it's been pretty tough the last couple months. Let's go to the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 Mariners and Marlins. She still has the cone on her head, and she's still taking 3 medications. But again, she's a trooper, and she's doing the best that she can. And hopefully Brian Wu will be able to do the best version of Brian Wu here today. First pitch right up the middle, gets past Colt Emerson, and a base knock right out of the gates from Liam Hicks. 19 game on base streak there for Liam Hicks, and he's batting just under 300. But I imagine before this game is over, he'll probably be over 300. But we got to make sure we limit the damage as much as possible. Nice hit there by Hicks. Right up the middle past Emerson. And next up is Kyle Stowers. First pitch to Stowers, takes a strike looking right down the middle, four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Otto Lopez on deck. And I'll look over to first, and Hicks makes his way back. He is safe. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0, Mariners and Marlins. Oh, 1 pitch, big, swing and a miss, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Stowers. Come on, Wu. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. There we go. That's the Brian Wu we all know and love. Let's go, baby. Nice job there by Brian Wu. After giving up a single, bringing a little bit of electricity for the Mariner fan base. Nice job, Wu. Next up, the hottest hitter on the team, shortstop Otto Lopez. (23-8) record since June 1st, and that's number 1 in MLB. And then we play the number 1 team in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays, right after this. So it definitely will be a test to see how we match up with these 2 Florida teams. And then we'll have the Home Run Derby on Monday, All-Star Game on Tuesday, a day off, and then we'll be right back at it for Mariner baseball after that. And I will be doing the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game on Monday and Tuesday if you want to come hang out and watch along. 0-1 pitch in there for a ball to Lopez. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0, Mariners and Marlins. And a hard hit ball into left field, and Lopez's hot streak continues. Doesn't matter if he goes against a great pitcher, an average pitcher, or a terrible pitcher. He is rocking everybody. I mean, he's one of those guys that could actually get, to 350 to 400 in his batting average. Amazing. And now we got runners at first and second with 1 out. We desperately need a double play now. We don't want to be down early if we can prevent it. Next up in the 4-hole, second baseman Xavier Edwards. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. Fantastic, Rebecca. 11-0. One of the best experiences I've had in any game I've ever been to. Grand slam by Randy, 3-run jack by Cal, 2-run bomb by Dom. You couldn't have asked for a better game. I got to see Cole and Colt get a hit. So, again, it was an amazing experience, and I'm glad that he decided to waive the piggyback and let Logan be Logan. And, again, one of the funnest experiences with my best friend, and we were 3-0 on 4th of July games against the Orioles, Pirates, and now Blue Jays. 2-0 pitch is fouled off, out of play there by Xavier Edwards. Lopez number 1 on the team with hits. Edwards is number 2. Hicks number 3. So again, even though they don't really have, guys that are like really famously known on the Marlins, they again have definitely been very confident, believing in their abilities, and it definitely has raised the bar, for the other guys, with Hicks and Lopez and others been balling out, and everyone else has kind of been stepping up to the challenge. And again, it's not like the Marlins are usually this good at this time of the year, and even with a 49-42 record, 28-17 at home, they're only in 3rd. Obviously, we know the National League is pretty tough this season. 2-1 pitch in there for a strike right down the middle. Nasty 4-seam fastball on the line. 96 miles an hour there by Brian Wu. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Xavier Edwards. Daniel in the building, what's good? Austin in the building, what's good? Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty rough, in the first half of the season, but it could be a lot worse, Big swing and a miss. Down goes Edwards, and that is 2 away. I mean, imagine we could have the record the Angels have. We could be last place with all the injuries that we've had. Again, even though pitching has been, up and down, the bullpen has been up and down. We've had injuries galore, more injuries to this team than any team we've ever had in the last 40 years. And with all that being said, we're still in first place, 47-44. I mean, we could literally have 20 wins right now, based on the injuries that we've had, but we have a deep team. And even though we may not like our GM and our manager at the moment, with Dipoto and obviously Dan Wilson. We got to do the best with what we have. And again, I think that with all things considered, and also being in first place, we know the American League is having a down year, but we do know Tampa Bay, New York, right? Cleveland, Chicago, the White Sox, and obviously the Seattle Mariners, as well as the Rangers and the Astros are all going to be in the mix in the American League. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Konine. Let's go, Wu. 0-2 pitch to Konine. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Amazing. Look at that. Brian Wu, after having guys at first and second, and you're thinking, Hicks and Lopez are getting hits, and they're going to score 1, 2, 3 runs in the first inning. Pump the brakes. Our defense is good, and Brian Wu is the man, and he ends up getting out of that mini jam early. Great job, Wu, to keep it at 0-0. And now let's go to the top of the second inning, and let's see if we can take a early lead. We definitely have to try to take a lead early, not only on the Marlins, but also the number 1 American League team, the Tampa Bay Rays, right after this series. Next up, in the 4-hole, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second in the 5-hole, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. And batting 6th, right fielder, Mr. Hustle himself, Luke Raley. Trident's up, let's go M's. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. That last track was one of the new ones that he had made just recently within the last couple days. And I actually messaged him and I told him, I'm looking for some, hip hop West Coast, something that would flow really well on the channel. So I do think he's going to be going back to the lab, and hopefully we'll have 2 or 3 bangers and slappers that can debut here on the channel once he is done making them. End of the first inning, 0-0, Mariners and Marlins. 93 subs to go to 24,500. Shout out to the new sub that we just acquired. Still looking for our first dono on the dono train. Anything would be greatly appreciated. Every single dono will go towards the emergency vet visit that I had with Paisley that cost me $400 a couple days ago. I am running out of dog food as well. And if you do know anything about YouTube, you only get paid once a month. So anything that can be done to help me out until that point would be greatly appreciated. All right, we're at 38 likes, so we're off to a good start. 62 to go. Top of the second inning, 0-0, Mariners and Marlins. And they're having a little visit here with Joe Mack with the communications, as well as Max Meyer. They're trying to get that situated. Max Meyer, 9-1 record, 2.53 ERA, an all-star for the first time. Nasty sweeper. And again, most sweepers. Look at that. Number 1, 912. Number 2 is Chris Sale with 604. And then Burns and Detmers and a few others after that in the 500. So again, if there's someone that absolutely loves sweepers, it's Max Meyer. There's no doubt about that. First pitch, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh, 1-0 count. And we're going to need the middle of the order to be patient. We know JP and Dom are patient, but we need the middle of the order to be patient and work the count if we're going to have any chance in this series. And we obviously know the bottom of the order will get the job done more times than not with Young, Robles, and Emerson. Even though they are, young, just like Cole Young's name, we do have the confidence in them more times than not to get the job done. Pitch fouled off there by the big dumper right down the middle. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Slider missing there by Meyer. 90 miles an hour right on the line. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Top of the second inning, 0-0 Mariners and Marlins. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Power Code in the building. What's good? 3-1 pitch in there for a strike. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Meyer. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And these are the type of counts that we want to be able to see out of Cal, as well as Luke Raley and Josh Naylor in the middle of the order, instead of them swinging at the first pitch and popping out or grounding out. 3-2 pitch popped up and out of play. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Meyer. Count is still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on and no outs. Top of the second inning, 0-0 Mariners and Marlins. Oh, 4th of July game was absolutely incredible. There was definitely more fans from Canada and Toronto in general I was expecting. I knew there would be a lot, but it felt like it was almost 50-50 in the building as Cal takes strike 3 looking, and that is 1 away. Another punch out there by Meyer. But again, they were chirping, pretty loud, and, the Let's Go Blue Jays and kind of talking shit early until Randy ended up hitting that grand salami. And then when we were up 5-0, only the real drunk Blue Jay fans were talking after that. And for the most part, they knew that they weren't winning that game after obviously winning the previous game 2-0 with Castillo on the mound. He did his job, but the bats did not come alive. And it was one of those weird series where every team that lost put up a 0, right? We lost 2-0 in the first game, but then in the 4th of July game that I was at T-Mobile, we won 11-0. And then obviously on July 5th, we won 4-0. So very unusual, but we'll take it. First pitch to Naylor is low and at the knees with a slider, 90 miles an hour by Meyer, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, high and inside, hits the corner with the strike with the slider. 1 ball and 1 strike from Meyer to Naylor. One pitch, hard hit ball, popped up towards left field, towards the inner third base, and caught, and that is 2 away. And again, we want Naylor to be able to work the count, and at least it wasn't the first or second pitch, but again, 3 pitches in, we expect more. Next up in the 6 hole, Mr. Hustle, right fielder Luke Raley. On deck is Cole Clutch Young. First pitch with the changeup to Luke Raley, 1-0 count. First pitch was high and away with the changeup, 85 miles an hour there by Meyer. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees, but on the line with the sweeper, his favorite pitch in his arsenal. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luke Raley. Top of the second inning, 0-0 Mariners and Marlins. And again, it's not going to be easy getting anything on Meyer. We have to just try to do our best and hope, that we can get a lucky, home run off of him, or, if we're lucky enough, to get back-to-back hits or back-to-back at some point between now and the 6th inning. But, the main thing is we don't want him going into the 7th or 8th inning with a low pitch count, because it'll be really tough to come back depending on what the score is at that point. 2-1 pitch to Raley. Hard hit ball into deep center field. And that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the bottom of the second inning and see who's up next here for the Marlins. Next up for the Marlins in the 6 hole, right fielder Owen Casey. Batting second, center fielder in the 7 hole, Jacob Marcy. And batting third in the 8 hole, catcher for Miami, Joe Mack. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 93 subs to go to 24,500. Less than 600 subs to go to get to 25,000, which is very exciting. And we're at 51 likes, halfway there, 49 to go. All right, 2 hits so far for Miami with Hicks and Lopez. No surprise there, with Hicks batting right under 300 now at 292. And then obviously with Otto Lopez, coming in at, in the 340s, and now he's at 347. So we just got to be able to limit the damage. They have 2 players batting above 300, 2 right under 300. And again, this is the hottest team in baseball since June 1st, 23-8 record since June 1st. And again, we're going to have to just try to do our best with what we have available. No Julio Rodriguez, still dealing with the concussion. And again, hopefully he'll be ready for the Tampa Bay series, which is up next. And it's not going to be any easier considering the Rays are the best team, in the American League record-wise, and just, for a majority of this season, at least to start off. First pitch to Casey in there for a ball, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball, deep right field. And gone! Upper deck. Holy cow. Owen Casey rocking. Brian Wu. And I put Casey on the thumb. I had a feeling that he would play well in the series. And look at that. 418 feet. A double-decker right off the front of the face of that particular section. 1-0 Miami. And hopefully we limit the damage as well. And at least it wasn't a 2-run jack or a 3-run bomb. Next up in the 7-hole, center fielder Jacob Marcy. And as long as Wu only gives up a run or 2, we'll be just fine. The maximum that he could probably give up is 3, but preferably 1 or 2. And then obviously we don't really know what we're going to be doing bullpen-wise. So, magic number for the Mariners will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And if they hit that number, it should give us a chance to at least compete. So, first pitch from Wu to Marcy. Takes a strike looking low and away. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss on that slider, low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Marcy. Let him know all day. Anything would be appreciated to be able to get some dog food for Paisley tomorrow and help out with some of those vet bill costs that happened that were very unexpected. Line drive to Cole Emerson, and that is 1 away. Rebecca with a 5er. Appreciate you. Every dollar counts. And again, as anyone that has a dog knows, dog food is not cheap. Thank you so much. $5 holla on the Dono train. Thank you, Rebecca. 95 to go. First pitch to Joe Mack, the catcher. 4-seam fastball, low and away. 1-0 count. Brian Wu on the mound, and Joe Mack in the box. And if you look at this roster, compared to last year, half of the lineup is completely different. It's almost like a night and day difference. If you go back to the Marlins from last year and you look at this team from this year, a lot of those names are not really that recognizable besides, Stowers and Lopez and Edwards and a few others. So definitely they revamped and retooled the team, and it definitely has worked for them in 2026. 2-0 pitch fouled off towards left field and out of play. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Brian Wu. 2 balls and 1 strike from Wu to Mack. Two-one pitch. Hard hit ball fading out of play. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Brian Wu. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Miami. And again, if we're going to give up home runs, let's just hope that, they're going to be solo dingers. We don't want to give up 2-run jacks, 3-run bombs, or grand salamis, especially on the road, because we typically don't play as well. Whether it be an all-star pitcher that's a righty, like we're going against today, or even lefties, whether they're good or bad, we obviously have struggled at home and on the road with those as well. Slow dribbler up the middle there by Mack. Emerson with the throw, making it just in time to Josh Naylor. Beautiful. And that is 2 away. Velasco with a 5er. Thank you. Appreciate that. Velasco with a 5er. Thank you so much, man. Every dollar counts, especially with the dog food and the vet bill, it definitely will mean a lot, if we can help, make things right for me. So thank you so much. On the $5 holla, we are at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. And a little blooper there up the middle there by Sanoha, and he keeps his hot streak alive. Another guy right under the 300 average, Javier Sanoa, and gets a hold of one there on Brian Wu as he singles to right. All right, now we're back at the top of the order, 1-for-1, Liam Hicks. And we got to be able to get this last out. Shout out to Velasco. Shout out to Rebecca. First pitch to Hicks is low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And once we get, Julio back and Brendan Donovan back, it'll really feel like this team is almost complete, besides the fact no Carlos Vargas, no Cooper Criswell, and no Matt Brash until August. And if we had those three guys, regardless if they played good or bad, it would be better than having any AAA guys on the team. But again, speaking of AAA, Arroyo as well as Lazaro Montes got promoted. So that's exciting. So we may see Lazaro get, called up at some point, this season or next season, and he can play right field, center field, or left field. And Arroyo is an infielder. So it's really good for our depth. And those are the two best players other than Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan, who are pitchers, that got called up to AAA. We're still waiting on Cade and Sloan to get called up to AAA, but things are going in the right direction with our top prospects. And a hit right up the middle, right in between Emerson and Young. And Sanoa with some great speed, hustling the third. Wow. And he is safe. Runners now at first and third with 2 outs. The main position, though, for Laz is right field. So, for him to play left field, it would not be his first, position. It would be probably the last. It would be right field, center field, and left. Kind of how we do with some of the other guys like Dom and Luke Rayleigh, where left field is kind of, Randy's spot for now and whatnot. But, we'll see how it all kind of progresses. But we got our 2 best hitters, promoted to AAA. We got our 2 best pitchers, waiting to get called up to AAA. And then obviously once they get called up to AAA at any given moment, if there's an injury or someone's playing bad, they could get a chance to, at least play with the team for a couple days, before they get called back down. And if they play well, who knows? They might be able to stay on the team. But, definitely excited about those players, And Lazaro Montes is a home run hitter, and Arroyo is more of kind of a singles doubles guy. One guy's an infielder, one guy's an outfielder, but they're both great. And, for considering they're farm guys. And then we obviously know that Sloan and Anderson are the future. They'll start off in the pen, but at some point, it wouldn't be shocking that those 2 guys might be in the starting 5 at some point in the next few years. First pitch to Stowers, high and inside, and it gets away from Cal. Run comes home and safe. Golly, Brian Wu with a wild pitch. And Sanoha looks like he might have pulled a hammy. He's holding the back of his leg, but he got in there safe. 2-0 Miami. Right now the weak link is Randy on defense and left field, and obviously our bullpen. I would think that those are the weakest spots besides not having Brendan Donovan at third. JP obviously is a pretty good patient hitter, but as far as defense, continues to have way too many errors. And, Donovan should be a better hitter and a better defender once we get him back. And once we do get him back, hopefully he has no more injuries for the rest of the year. And, I'm looking forward to getting Julio back here in a couple days as well. So that wild pitch there by Wu, which is not ideal. Now it's 2-0. We can't have Wu give up any more. We have to keep it, somewhat close, and we need the offense to get going. But we are going against an all-star pitcher with Meyer on the other end. 2-0 pitch, big swing and a miss to Stowers. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at second and 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning, 2-0 Miami. And again, this is, going to be tough. It's not going to be an easy series, let alone the Tampa series. It's realistic that we might only win 1 game in each series. We might only win, at best case, we could win, 3, hopefully 2 in this series and 1 at least in Tampa Bay or vice versa. But I'm really hoping at some point that we could find a way to win 2 out of 3 in both. But we would have to play fantastic for that to happen. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Woo to Stowers. But, you're not sweeping the Marlins or the Rays, based on how they've played recently. So you just got to try to win 2 out of 3. And if you can't do that, then hopefully win 2 out of 3, at least in one series. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Stowers. And we got to stop the bleeding. And that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 3rd inning, and let's see if we can get on the board. We don't have to necessarily tie it right away, but we just want to get to 1. And, that way we can kind of keep pace. Next up in the 7 hole, second baseman Cole Clutch Young. Batting second in the 8 hole, center fielder Victor Robles. Drop a bunt down if you can, Victor. And batting third in the 9 hole, shortstop, the phenom Colt Emerson. Right hands up. Let's go, Ems. We're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go, 93 subs to go to 24,500. Let's see where we're at on the likes, how close we are to 100 as we go to the top of the 3rd inning with a 2-0 deficit. As long as we keep it under 5 runs, that's really the main thing. That's the most runs that we typically can come back from and still win. All right, we're at 61 likes. We're almost there, 39 to 100. Let's go, Young. First pitch in there, taking a strike, looking. 0-1 count. And obviously we know the sweeper is going to be his favorite pitch for Max Meyer. 9-1 record, ERA of 2.53, an all-star this year. So again, it's not going to be easy getting anything on him, but hopefully we can be patient in the box. Maybe get him to walk a guy or two, maybe hit a guy as long as it doesn't injure us. We need to be able to get on base with some bunts, steal a bag or 2. We're going to have to really, pull out all the stops if we're going to win 2 games out of 3. And again, if we don't end up pulling out all the stops, we're probably only going to win 1 game out of 3. And challenges. See what we get here with the ABS with the challenge. All right. Call now as a ball. Overturned. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good challenge there by Cole Young. And let's see if we can find a way to get on base here. Come on, Cole. 1-2 pitch. Pop behind the plate and foul. Slider 91 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cole Clutch Young. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Well, everyone struggles on the road. It's, like I said, it's not like we, have had all of these amazing things go for, us in the right direction this year. And we're much better at home than we are on the road. And, everybody on the road is, obviously quite a bit worse, this season and normally in general. So, and on top of that, when you're going against a good team, it's not ideal to play the Marlins and the Rays, in the last 2 series before the All-Star break. But, Woo was our best pitcher last season. And again, sometimes, you end up having issues, whether they're hurt or they just don't have their stuff or they're in their own heads, but Woo is not the only one that has a hard time on the road. But again, we just got to be able to get the offense to help him out, the best that way we can to keep, somewhat close. 3-2 pitch, hard hit ball towards first. And Stowers corrals it and toe taps on the bag just in time. And that is 1 away. Good at bat there for Cole Young. Hopefully he'll be able to get something going later in the matchup. Next up, center fielder Victor Robles. Drop the bunt down, Victor, if needed. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, with the talent that we have on this team, I mean, we should have more, than one all-star. I mean, we're used to having 3 or 4, so to have one is weird. Popped up into right field there by Robles, and that is 2 away. Work the count, Victor. Next up in the 9-hole, shortstop Colt Emerson. First pitch by Emerson up the middle. Flip back to the pitcher, toe tap on the bag, and that is out number 3. But in the last 6 starts, we led the MLB in ERA and opponent average, with our starting pitchers. 5-1 record, 1.30 ERA, 6 earned runs, 41.2 innings pitched with 36 strikeouts, 5 walks, and an opponent batting average only 144. But that was at home, right? So again, home and away is completely different, and we just got to do our best with what we have. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning and see who's up next here for the Marlins. Next up for the Marlins, their hottest hitter in the 3-hole, 1-for-1, shortstop Otto Lopez. Batting second, 0-for-1 with a K, second baseman Xavier Edwards. And batting third in the 5-hole, 0-for-1 with a K, left fielder Griffin Conine. Trident's up, let's go M's. 93 subs to go to 24,500. Less than 600 subs away from 25,000. We're at 6.2 million views on the channel. Next goal is 7 million views. We're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go. And we're at 72 likes, 28 more to 100. Plus we've had more injuries, on this ball club than we've had in any team in the last 40 years. We have to be, really, blessed that we're in first place still, in the American League West at 47-44. We literally could have the same record as the Angels. We could be, 20 wins-ish, based on all the bad things that have happened this season. But we do have incredible depth that has kind of bailed out Dan Wilson on a lot of his bad decision-making. We lost 3, solid guys, in the pen, and we've had to replace those guys with AAA guys that are, for the most part, not that good, and that has hurt us. Mooney, for the most part, hasn't been good, but he's starting to get somewhat better. So there's a lot of things, I mean, go back at the beginning of the year, we were the worst hitting team in baseball, batting 188, as a team before we played the Astros and we got the sweep, aka the mop, and we won 4 games in a row. And then at that point, things started to get better. Naylor with the leg kick, Julio and Cal started to hit a little bit, and before Cal obviously got hurt. So, we've had a lot more adversity, with this team than any other team, that Seattle has brought to the table in the last 40 years. And with all that being said, 47-44, first place in the AL West, again, it could be a hell of a lot worse. Facts. 0-1 pitch, popped up and behind the plate and out of play. Sweeper 85 miles an hour there by Wu. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Lopez. And the main thing is you got the Rays, you got the Yankees, the White Sox, the Guardians, the Mariners, the Rangers, and the Astros. As long as we're, one of the top teams and we get into the playoffs, anything can happen. And if you look at the depth of our team, we have the most depth out of any team, besides maybe the Yankees. So even though the Yankees have gone on a little bit of a skid and the Rays have been hot, in the American League, we match up very well, with the White Sox and the Guardians, even though the Guardians sometimes have our number. And, we feel confident that we can beat anybody in the AL West, even though things can get challenging with the Rangers, the Astros, and even the Athletics and the Angels as well. 0-2 pitch popped up by Lopez. And there we go. Josh Naylor with some good defense out there in foul territory. And for a guy that's almost batting 350, we'll take a pop out any day of the week. Down goes Lopez, and that is 1 away. Next up in the 4-hole, second baseman Xavier Edwards. On deck is Griffin Conine. And again, we're going to need double plays. We're going to need to help, our pitchers out tremendously, on the road, especially with this series against Miami and then Tampa next. And then we go into the All-Star break. First pitch popped behind the plate and foul. 0-1 count. People will not badmouth. That ain't happening here. There's some people that don't care, but that ain't gonna fly here. First pitch is high and away, fouled off. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike, looking high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Edwards. Chopped over Wu's head. Look at that play by Young. Oh, they say safe. Can we get a replay? That was a pretty good throw. Let's see if he actually got to first in time. Can I get a replay? And we're going to challenge here. Well, you get a lot of people that, just have no common sense and love to be a keyboard warrior and be disrespectful. And that's just how they are, They'll do it on the computer. They'll do it in person. And, that's kind of what's wrong with this world, Looked out to me. But let's see if the ABS and everything else think also. But looks like we end up getting that ball in the back of that mitt before that foot hits the bag. But let's see what ABS and the people in the replay booth think there. There we go. Good call. He's out. And again, you get these bang plays, that could go either way. And we've had a lot of those this season that are very, very close, to the naked eye, even with replay. And again, more times than not, we normally don't get the calls to go our way, it feels like, but they do get the correct call there. And that is 2 away. Great job there by my favorite player on the team, Cole Clutch Young. And again, you always can count on Cole getting the job done more times than not, offensively and defensively. Next up is Griffin Conine. First pitch is fouled off. Out of play, 0-1 count. And I like guys that hustle and play offense and defense. And you got Cole Young, you got Colt Emerson, you got Julio, and a few others as well. Oh, 1 pitch, a little blooper right in front of Randy, and a single there for Conine. Hopefully we don't get too many balls hit in Randy's area. Pop-ups are fine, but not ground balls. All right, next up in the 6-hole, right fielder Owen Casey, who ended up hitting a double-decker home run in his last at-bat, so let's not have that happen here. Next up after him will be Jacob Marcy. First pitch to Casey is a ball low and at the knees, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, fouls it behind the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Casey. 1-1 pitch. Nice sweeper low and away, getting a strike there on Casey. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. 2-0 Miami. They have 6 hits and 2 runs already. We haven't been able to get a hit on their all-star pitcher yet, but, hopefully we'll be able to get there. One-two pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-0 Miami. Jerry in the building, what's good? I definitely think they're going to get hot. Julio will be back. Brendan Donovan has been injured pretty much the whole year, besides the first few games. So, that'll improve our defense and hitting as a leadoff hitter instead of JP. JP can be one of the best backups in the league, at that point. And I do think that we will get hot, as the warmer weather approaches. We always play much better in the second half of the season. And, I do still think that we have a very good chance of winning the division or getting a wild card in second place. But hopefully we win the division again as Wu ends up walking Casey. And now we have runners at first and second with 2 outs. But, I still think that we have a very good chance to go on a deep run this year. You got the Yankees, you got the Tampa Bay Rays, you got us, right? And you got the Guardians and the White Sox. And then obviously the Rangers and Astros will be battling it out for probably that, spot behind us. So, and then we'll see if the Athletics and Angels can get any better as the season goes on as well. So maybe not the Angels, but you would assume the Athletics at some point will get a little bit better than what they've shown. Next up is Jacob Marcy. First pitch is low and at the knees, but hits the corner. 0-1 count. Jack in the building, what's good? Right hands up, let's go M's. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Casey. But again, this is, not ideal to be playing 2 of the best teams in the last 2 series going into the break. We are 3 games above 500 right now, but we could be below 500 after these 2 series. It's definitely possible. Marlins are the hottest team in baseball since June 1st. And again, their record in that time period is insane, right? They're 23-8 and number 1 in MLB, not just number 1 in the American League. And then after we get past this team, then we got to go against the number 1 team in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays, who are even better than the Yankees. So again, it's not going to be easy. We just have to try to do our best with what we have. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees, sinker missing there by Wu. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Casey, or Marcy, excuse me. Are you kidding me? And Marcy coming up big, and just like that, 3-0 Miami. And again, Wu, if you're going to have it, down the middle, you got to make sure that you're going to be locked in. And that one is right in between Naylor and Young. And that ends up bringing in another run, 3-0 Miami. Rough. And we can't have Wu give up any more if we have any chance, because we don't know what's going to be happening in the bullpen. Knowing Dan Wilson, he'll probably bring in the AAA guys, later in the game. And if he does that, it's going to be really hard to come back. (3-0) Miami. Throw to first and safe. Next up is Joe Mack. And again, the Miami Marlins are definitely playing like they're the hottest team in baseball. But we just got to be able to do our job in the box. And, the longer that we sit at 0, it's going to be one of those things, a harder uphill battle. Got to get to 1 sooner than later. First pitch from Wu to Mack is a ball. Low and away, 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd, 3-0 Miami. They got 7 hits on Wu already. Not ideal. 1-0 pitch, fouls it off himself. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Mac. But in all fairness, if anybody plays the Marlins or the Rays, you're probably losing, at least, lately. So it's not like teams have been able to beat, the Marlins or the Rays recently. So, but I still think we can come back. It's just, we got to do our best to be able to get at least a run on Meyer if we can. And a little dribbler up the middle. Young, throw to first. Keep that runner stranded at third, and that is out number 3. And you can tell Wu is frustrated, and any pitcher would be frustrated in this situation. We got to be able to help him out and bail him out a little bit defensively. All right, let's see if the offense can finally get on the board. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K, third baseman J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 0 for 1, left fielder, the All-Star this year, Randy Arozarena. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing, it's the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Trident's up, let's go M's. Just got to have that blind faith that at some point that will go against a pitcher that will be able to rough up slightly and get back into the game. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 92 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. Anything that is donated to the channel this month will go for that emergency vet visit that cost me $400 a few days ago. I do have a bag of dog food that I need to buy for Paisley. She's running out. So anything that can be done to help me out in those 2 causes would be fantastic. 83 likes. We're 17 more to get to 100. We're almost there. Shout out to Rebecca. Shout out to Velasco. And we'll see if we get a few others to hop on the dono train. End of the third inning, 3-0 Miami. Myers at 39 pitches with 3 Ks. Wu's at 56 pitches with 4 Ks. But again, not the same result that we were hoping for, but again, we can still find a way, but the offense needs to do their job. But that's definitely a tough ask when you're going against one of the best pitchers in baseball this year. And Max Meyer, 9-1 record, ERA of 2.53. So, we'll be lucky if we can even get 1 run on him, but 1 is better than 0. I'd rather be down 3-1 than 3-0. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch from Meyer to Crawford, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Slider, 89 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, takes another strike down the middle with the sweeper, his favorite pitch. 88 miles an hour, no balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. 0-2 pitch, low and away with the sweeper. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. One-two pitch, big swing and a miss. Meyer fooling Crawford with the sweeper, and another punch out there for Max Meyer. And that is 1 away. Next up is Randy Arozarena. One thing that Meyer and Randy have in common, they're both going to the All-Star game this year. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And it's not like we haven't come back from games before, especially this season. There's been a lot of games where we've gotten down early and we have to kind of crawl our way back. So, as long as we keep it under 5 runs, we have a chance. But anything, above 5 runs, usually that's kind of the tipping point. 1-1 pitch. And a blooper by Randy. Drops. Here we go. And the All-Star gets our first hit of the game, finally. There we go. Great job there by Randy Rosarina. Now let's see if Dominic Canzone can get a single, double, or a home run, and then we can get right back in this game with one swing. Let's go, Dom. Let's go, baby. First pitch to Dom. Hard hit ball, deep center field. And caught. And Marcy with the catch. And Randy has to hustle back to first base, and that is 2 away. That would have been really sweet if that would have been able to be a home run to get us back into the mix, but maybe Dom's next at bat, he'll be able to get a hold of it. Next up in the 4-hole, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Try to up. Let's go, M's. Being a fan of this team is not easy. You got to be able to be mentally strong and, realize not everything is going to go our way all the time. We go through peaks and valleys. Some, really, really great baseball and some really, really terrible baseball. But also we've had injuries, poor management, and a lot of other things that have cost us games. But even with that being said, we're still in first place, and again, with all the injuries, the most that we've ever had in the last 40 years, to still be in first place, it's kind of a miracle if we're really thinking about it. Yeah, we do need the Moose. I agree. Let's go, Cal. First pitch takes a strike, looking high and away. 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And usually when we break out the Moose, good things happen. All right, Mariner Moose, help us out here. Let's go, big dumper. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Meyer to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And he's thrown 3 sweepers, and that's his favorite pitch. And again, he's number 1 in MLB with sweepers with almost 1,000, and we're only halfway through the season. That's insane. 1-2 pitch. Randy's going. And Randy is thrown out at second base, and that is out number 3. We know base running hasn't been the greatest for us either. Great throw, great tag. Right on the money there from Joe Mack, and down goes Randy, and that is out number 3. Next up for the Marlins here in the bottom of the 4th inning, 1-for-1 with a run. In the 9-hole, third baseman Javier Sanoa. Batting second, leadoff hitter DHing 2-for-2, Liam Hicks. And batting third, 0-for-2 with 2 Ks, first baseman Kyle Stowers. Tridents up, let's go M's. Got to have that blind faith. That once Meyer ends up exiting the game, hopefully we can get a bullpen pitcher or 2 to be a little shaky, and we can come back in the game at that point. 93 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go. And we're at 85 likes, 15 to 100. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Yeah, and most likely we're not going to be able to hit a home run on Meyer. We're going to have to hit it, against the bullpen. So, you have to realize this is an all-star pitcher that's 9-1. That's the best record that we've faced all year. ERA of 2.53, and he throws more sweepers than anyone in baseball. So it's definitely is going to be very, very challenging. I mean, it's hard enough to get a hit on him, let alone to get a home run. I mean, it took us to the 4th inning to get our first hit, so that shows you how dominant, Meyer is. And unfortunate that Randy couldn't steal a bag to kind of keep that inning going. But again, this is the hottest team in baseball since June 1st, 23-8, so they're playing like it, and it shows. First pitch from Wu to Sanoa, right down the middle with a beautiful 4-seam fastball. 0-1 count. But again, if we can keep it within 5 runs or less, it'll give us somewhat a chance. If it goes over 5 runs, then, it'll be really tough at that point, just based on how we played this year. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Sinker, 95 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Sanoa. 0-2 pitch from Wu. Low and away with the sweeper. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wu to Sanoa. Won 13 of the last 17. The Miami Marlins. 1-2 pitch popped up by Sanoa. Should be a routine play there for JP. And that is 1 away. Good job there by JP at 3rd. And that is 1 away. Next up, 2 for 2. Leadoff hitter, DHing, Liam Hicks. On deck is Kyle Stowers. First pitch is high and away in there for a strike to Hicks with the slider, 86 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike as that changeup misses, 89 miles an hour, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 4th inning, 3-0 Miami. 1-1 pitch, fouled off there by Hicks. Fouls it off himself. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wu to Hicks. One-two pitch. Low and at the knees. Count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Hicks. Two-two pitch. Popped up into the gap, and it falls in between Robles and Randy. Run, Randy! God, you're so lazy out there. And Robles finally gets to the ball, and they're going for 3. Safe, Jesus. And Hicks with a triple. And that's a problem, when you got guys, and Victor normally isn't lazy, but that time, could have ran a little harder, and then bobbled the ball when he got it. And Randy, absolutely no effort out there in left field. And I don't know if it's because it's a contract year and he doesn't want to get injured, but I have never seen someone so talented as an all-star player be so fucking lazy on ground balls in left field. Just show some damn effort for once. And Hicks is, not the fastest player out there, but he was hustling. And a big triple there for Liam, who's 3 for 3 today. And the Marlins just want it more, and you can feel it. And obviously having Julio back in the lineup will, definitely help. Doesn't help us when it goes to left field, but at least it will, help us in center field, even though Victor is a good center fielder defensively, but you're not going to get the same pop in the bat out of Robles than you would with Julio. 1-0 pitch, pop behind the plate there by Stowers. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Stowers. Bottom of the 4th inning, runner at 3rd, Liam Hicks with the triple moments ago with 1 out. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike from Wu to Stowers. And you can tell Wu's in his own head. Obviously after being the best pitcher on the team last year and this year, being kind of in the middle towards the back end, it definitely is affecting him mentally, and it shows in his performance as well. Doesn't have the consistency as he had last year. 2-1 pitch, hard hit ball into right field. And Rayleigh throw home, and another run scores, 4-0 Miami. TJ in the building. What's good? Look at the hustle by Luke Raley. Randy Arozarena could only dream of making a play like that. But the runner tags up from third, Hicks, and ends up scoring off his triple, 4-0 Miami. And again, if it goes above 5, we're in trouble. But again, we need to be able to limit the damage. But obviously, when you're going against the hottest team in baseball and the next series is the best team in the American League, you literally couldn't schedule the 2 worst, opponents at this point. We have a 3-game above 500 record, but after playing these 2 teams, the Marlins and the Rays, we could be a below 500 and maybe not in first place, and again, I want to finish strong going into the All-Star break, but going against these 2 teams is a nightmare. But hopefully we'll be able to win if we can't come back today, the next 2 games and, win 2 out of 3. And then same thing with the Tampa Bay Rays. Hopefully we can win 2 out of 3 there. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Wu to Lopez. And it's not just Meyer. Look at the hitters, that they have. I mean, they got 2 guys above 300, 1 guy batting, 350 to, 340 to 350 in Otto Lopez, right? You got 2 other guys that are hovering right below 300. And it's not like we have any guys above 300 on our team, even though we have talent. So again, they may not be a team that's got a lot of recognizable names, but they are the hottest team in baseball since June 1st, 23-8, and they're playing, like the Dodgers, or something of that nature. It feels like that, and no matter who's on the mound, they've been able to beat them up. Same thing with the Tampa Bay Rays. No matter who they play, it seems like as of late, even when they play the Yankees, they beat them up, and that really shows, how far these 2 teams have come, in the early part of the season. 2-2 pitch, little dribbler over Wu's head. Young is there, throw to Naylor, and finally, that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 5th inning, and we got to try to get a run on the board somehow, some way. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second, 0 for 1, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. And batting third, 0 for 1, right fielder, Luke Raley. No matter what the score is, he will always hustle, and that'll be something that I always will respect. Wish Randy could take some notes from Luke Raley. End of the 4th inning, 4-0 Miami. 93 subs to go to 24,500. And we gained another sub moments ago. 92 subs now to 24,500. We're at 10 on the Dono train. 90 to go. And we're at 91 likes, 9 more to 100. TJ in the building. What's good? Max Meyer, 9-1 record, ERA of 2.53. That's obviously the best that we faced this year. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks, 51 pitches, 31 strikes. So he's on pace to pitch 7 or 8 innings, which is not ideal. And then Brian Wu, 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, 74 pitches, 51 strikes with a 4.35 ERA. So obviously when you're down like this, if we can't get runs on the board, I would assume Dan Wilson will wave the white flag. And instead of using Bizzardo or Spire or Ferrer, it'll probably be Nick Davila, or Simpson or Rucker that ends up coming in for us. I mean, unless we can get this game, to 4-2 or 4-3 ASAP, I think that would be the only way that we might actually have a decent, bullpen pitcher come in, But we'll see what Dan decides to do. First pitch is fouled off by the big dumper. Change up, 81 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away. Good take there by Cal with the sweeper. 89 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Shout out to Velasco and Rebecca for helping us out on the Dono train, helping out with those vet bill costs with that emergency visit I had a couple days ago, and Paisley needs food. She'll be hungry. And obviously, got to be able to feed her and whatnot. And dog food is not cheap. So anything that can be done would be greatly appreciated. Pitch is high and away. Change up 85 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 2-1 pitch. Hard hit ball towards first. And it's fair. Go, go, go. Go, Cal, run. And Cal stretching for a double. There we go. Stand-up double by the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. My boy. Good job, Cal. So Randy Arosarena got the first hit, earlier in the game, last inning, but got thrown out stealing a bag a few pitches later, trying to go to second. And now we got Cal with a double. And now let's see if Naylor can bring him home. Good job, Cal. Next up is Josh Naylor. After that, Luke Raley. Best case scenario, Naylor gets a single, and then Raley gets a 3-run jack, and then it ends up being 4-3. And if that ends up happening, we're right back in the game. But the chance of that happening against Meyer is almost slim to none, but you never know. First pitch to Naylor is low and at the knees, 1-0 count, and you just need one kind of mini meltdown by the starter and a meltdown by a bullpen pitcher or two, and things can change rapidly in a baseball game. One 0 pitch, pop behind the plate and foul. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nails, Josh Naylor. Little dribbler up the middle, throw to first. Cal makes his way to third, and that is 1 away. Next up, Mr. Hustle himself, Luke Raley. Let's see if Luke can get an RBI single or a home run here. And then on deck is Cole Clutch Young. I like that. First pitch is high and away with a sweeper, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, fouled off. Slider, 90 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike to Luke Raley. Come on, Luke. We got to get to at least 1. If we can't hit the home run, let's just get to 4-1 and just, try to tread water here. And then, Cole Young might be able to get something going after him as well. Come on, Luke. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Meyer to Raley. We need a nuke from Luke or an RBI single. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 2-1 pitch, little blooper. And caught in center field. Run, 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 Cal. Run, Cal. Safe. There we go. And we finally get on the board. Cal is safe with 2 outs. Good hit there with the sac fly by Luke Raley. 4-1 Miami. All right, baby. Baby steps. There we go. Trident's up. Good sac fly there by Luke. Good speed by Cal Raleigh. And now let's see if we can start a 2-out rally with Cole Clutch Young, Victor Robles, and Colt Emerson. Let's go. First pitch is fouled off by Cole Clutch Young, my favorite player on the team. Got a lot of love for Julio and Cal. Love me some Colt Emerson as well. But I love the CNC factory with Cole and Colt. Love me some Julio and Cal, as well as a few of the others. I love the way that Dom and Luke have played this season as well. And I'm really excited to get Brendan Donovan and Julio back on this team. 0-1 pitch. Hard hit ball. Deep right field. Back, gone! And my favorite player on the team got the job done. 2-run jack, baby. We're back in it. Let's go. Solo dinger by Cole Young. I was hoping it would be a 2-run jack. Yeah, but we didn't have anybody on board. Cole Young, baby. Let's go. 4-2 Miami. Nice solo dinger. And, and when you get blasted 4-0, right, you don't really know if you're going to be able to come back or not, right? But you have to have that blind faith. And again, Cole Clutch Young, he's a guy that can do it offensively and defensively. And again, he's starting to really show how valuable he is to this team, even in his second year. Him and Colt are going to be playing those positions of second and short for a very, very long time. And this is probably the most excitement we've had for new players besides Julio and Cal. And it's always nicer when you can draft the guys rather than bring guys over from other teams. Pitch fouled off there by Victor Robles. Nice solo dinger there by Cole Clutch Young. And now we're only down by 2 runs when we were down by 4. So again, you just got to try to rough up a really good starter. And we were able to take advantage of that. Good job there by Cal, Luke Raley, and Cole Young. And then, again, hopefully the bullpen will have problems, and then we'll be able to tie this game up sooner than later. And again, it's always easy to be negative, especially the way that this team has played this year. You got to have that blind faith, no matter how bad you're getting blasted, that we have enough talent that we can come back. We may not win every game, when we come back, but, we're not going to just roll over and die. 1-2 pitch, hard hit ball there by Robles into right field. And that is out number 3, but not after. Cole Clutch Young hitting a big solo dinger, and Luke Raley with a sac fly, getting Cal Raleigh to score from third. And after being down 4-0, we get 2 runs in the 5th, and now we're back in the game. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. And guess who loves it? Rick Riz. Let's go. We're back in it, baby. Great job, Cole. I put you on the thumbnail today for a reason. I had a feeling. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th, 4-2 Miami. Next up for the Marlins, 0-2 with a K, second baseman Xavier Edwards. Batting second, 1-2 with a run into K, left fielder in the 5-hole, Griffin Conine. And batting third, 1-for-1 with a run, RBI, and a walk, right fielder Owen Casey, who had a double-decker home run, and he's on the thumb also. So looks like I kind of had a feeling on who would homer today, and both guys on the thumb have done their job. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. 92 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. And we should be at 100 likes by now. Let's see where we're at. We're at 93, 7 more. Can we get 7 people to hit the like button quickly? So that way we can get to 100. $93 likes, 7 more to 100. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. Great job there by Cal Raleigh getting that double to get the party started. Luke Raley with a deep sac fly, scoring Cal from third, and Cole Clutch Young showing how clutch he can be, not only on defense, but on offense. And again, my favorite player on the team. And that's saying something, considering we have Colt Emerson and Julio and Cal and, JP Randy, Dom and Naylor and Raley and Robles and, and Brendan Donovan. There's a lot of people that really like on this team. Let's go. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch from Wu to Edwards, takes a strike, looking low and away. 0-1 count. Hard hit ball towards first, pops up in the air, and safe. And we've had Naylor kind of tip it to himself a few times this season, but that one went way above his head after he got a little bit of a piece of the mid on it, and it shoots up into the air, goes behind him. But by the time Young gets the throw to Naylor, Edwards has too much speed and is safe. But good awareness for Naylor to run back to first, to at least attempt, as Wu was running towards first as well. Somebody's got to cover first. Good comeback by the Mariners so far, but we got to make sure we keep them at 4. First pitch to Conine. High and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and away. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Wu. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first with no outs. Bottom of the 5th, 4-2 Miami. Try dance up. Let's go M's. One pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Wu. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Wu to Conine. Come on, Wu. Donnie starting rehab. I like that. And that 1-2 pitch was a big swing and a miss there by Conine, and that is 1 away. Great sign that Donnie's getting back into the rehab. That injury was much more serious than first, talked about, with obviously the Mariner fan base and everyone else. First pitch into Casey is a strike, 0-1 count. 4-seam fastball, high and away, 94 miles an hour. 0-1 pitch, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Brian Wu. 1 ball and 1 strike to Owen Casey, who hit a double-decker home run earlier in the game. Mike in the building. What's good, brother? 1-1 pitch, and Casey pops up. Shallow center field. Victor is there. And that is 2 away. Get him. Got him. There we go. And again, when we have Randy, he never throws hard, right? But again, at least Victor threw hard, and they're going to challenge. He was called out, obviously, there at second. But, at least I can, count on Robles to make a strong throw. And then it went to one other player. And as I'm watching the replay here, it's kind of an awkward slide, but he does look safe. But we will see what they decide to call here, since they called him out on the play. But it looks safe to me. Well, we want to make sure the calls are correct, so... Runner is safe. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, popped up and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Marcy. Oh-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Wu to Marcy. Oh-2 pitch, hard hit ball to Cole Young. Throw it to first, and that is out number 3. End of the 5th inning, 4-2 Miami. All right, 91 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 10 on the dono train, 90 to go. And we're at 105 likes, 95 to 200. Go to the top of the 6th and see if we can chip away a little bit more. Next up in the 9 hole, 0 for 1, shortstop Colt Emerson. Batting second, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, third baseman J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 1 for 2, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Right ends up, let's go Ems. First pitch from Meyer to Emerson is low and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, low and at the knees. Sweeper 88 miles an hour, 2 balls and no strikes from Meyer to Emerson. 2-0 pitch, high and away. Count now is 3 balls and no strikes from Meyer to Emerson. 3-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 6th inning, 4-2 Miami. 3-1 pitch, and that's inside, and that is a ball. And a good take there by Colt Emerson, and we'll take a walk. Next up is J.P. Crawford. On deck is Randy Arozarena. First pitch from Meyer to JP. Takes a strike right down the middle. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Low and away. Sweeper, 89 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Meyer to Crawford. Top of the 6th inning. Runner at first with no outs. 4-2 Marlins. And it definitely feels much better, being down 4-2 rather than 4-0. 1-1 pitch. Hard hit ball into left field. Diving attempt dropped. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. Great job there by J.P. Crawford. And now we got runners at first and second with no outs, baby. Let's tie this game up. Conine with a diving attempt, but he dropped it. Next up is Randy Arosarena, who had the first hit of the game. And then after that, Dominic Canzone. Let's go. Let's see if we can tie this game up 4-4 this inning. Or at least at the very minimum, 4-3. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. First pitch in there for a strike. And Randy is challenging. Not sure if Randy is really the guy to be challenging. He had 2 challenges in the first inning a few games ago, and then we lost all of our challenges the rest of the game. But that was a good challenge there by Randy that time around, and that gets overturned. Good job, Arosarena. And now it's a 1-0 count. 2-0 today on ABS challenges. Marlins have not challenged anything just yet. Come on, Randy. 1-0 pitch, high and inside, has to jump out of the way. Sweeper, 89 miles an hour there by Meyer. 2 balls and no strikes to Randy Arosarena. 2-0 pitch, high and inside, and Meyer's having a little bit of a mini meltdown. 3 balls and no strikes with runners at first and second and no outs. And that's what you kind of hope for, that they get roughed up a little bit in the 5th and the 6th, and then they end up exiting in the 6th or the 7th. And again, we were down 4-0. Didn't look like we were going to have that much luck coming back, but all it takes is, just a couple guys to get it going. And that's a 4-pitch walk. And now we have bases loaded with no outs. Let's go. What a comeback here for the Mariners. But we got to be able to make sure that we bring these guys home. Nothing would be sweeter than the Italian Stallion getting a grand salami, and then all of a sudden we go up 6-4 after being down 4-0. Let's go. Dom in the box. On deck is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Bases loaded with no outs. Let's go. We have to be able to get at least a minimum of 1 run. Because you just don't know what's going to happen. Are we going to hit into a double play, or are they going to have a wild pitch? Are they going to hit one of our guys? Are we going to strike out a couple times? But again, now we have a mound visit, and we'll see if they end up making the change now or if they let Meyer continue. All right, Peterson is coming in, and we roughed up Meyer. I like that. And for the first few innings, it looked like, oh God, we're going to get blasted 10-0. But again, we finally got to him in the 5th and now the 6th, and now he is done. All right, Michael Peterson, the righty, is coming in. All right, the final line for Meyer: 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, 80 pitches, 45 strikes with a 2.58 ERA. Came into the game with a 9-1 record and a 2.53 ERA. He is an all-star this year. And again, he was great for the first few innings, first 4, but we roughed him up in the last 2. And again, that's all it takes. And then now Michael Peterson is coming in. And let's see if we can take advantage here with bases loaded or Dominic Canzone. And that's why it's so important, not to get overly negative when the Mariners get down, by 3, 4, 5 runs. Again, it looks bad, but again, you just have to have that blind faith that good things will happen. Either the batters will start to get it going, or, their pitchers are going to have a meltdown or a little bit of both. First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count. And I wouldn't even mind if this guy ends up walking Dom and then we end up getting that cheap run from third. Obviously, him getting a single, double, triple, or home run, a grand salami would be great, but even taking a walk to get it to 4-3 would be awesome. 1-0 pitch, high and away. Takes a strike right on the corner. Looked like a ball to me. Slider, 87 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike from Peterson to Canzone. Come on, Dom. 1-1 pitch, hard hit ball, double play. Nope, throw home. Out, I don't know. They said he was out, but was he? They say Emerson was out at home, but was he though? Yeah, looks out. They're going through the replay there. Fielder's choice. I was just hoping that he maybe took his foot off the bag slightly, but he did not, or home plate. And that is 1 away. All right, Dom couldn't give us a bomb or an RBI, but maybe Cal can. Cal has an RBI. He has RBI tendencies, and let's see if Cal can get it done here. Doesn't have an RBI yet, but, could end up having one here. Does have a run scored, though, from Luke Raley's RBI earlier. First pitch is fouled off there by Peterson from Cal Raleigh, right down the middle. 4-seam fastball, 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Peterson to Cal Raleigh. Bases loaded with 1 out, top of the 6th inning, 4-2 Marlins. Come on, Cal. See if we get a grand salami, single, double, triple, a walk, anything. 1-1 pitch. And that one gets fouled back behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 1 out. Come on, Cal. Got to score at least 1 run this inning. Come on, Cal. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Raleigh, and that is 2 away. Brutal. All right, so we couldn't get it from Dom. We couldn't get it from Cal, but maybe Josh Naylor. I was going to say if Cole Young was up next, that would be probably best for us. He could get the job done, but let's see if Naylor can find a way to get a bloop single to make it 4-2 to 4-3 or from 4-2 to 4-4. And then on deck will be Luke Raley. Unfortunate that Dom and Cal both, more times than not, usually can come up in that situation, but first pitch is low and away. Slider 90 miles an hour, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch. Fouled off there by Naylor. One ball and 1 strike from Peterson to Nails, Josh Naylor. Come on, Josh. Top of the 6th inning, bases loaded with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. Hard hit ball by Naylor. Hard hat comes off. And that goes into the crowd. 1 ball and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 2 outs. Top of the 6th. 4-2 Marlins. Come on, Mariners. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Come on, baby. Time is called. Come on, Mariner Moose. Give us that good luck that we need. Michael Peterson on the mound, filling in there for Meyer. And Josh Naylor in the box. Come on, Josh. Now, Meyer is out. Peterson is in the game now. Top of the 6th inning, bases loaded with 2 outs, 4-2 Miami. And if we can just get something good to hit here. 1-2 pitch. And a little dribbler up the middle. Fielder's choice. Yikes. And bases loaded. We don't even get anything. That's rough. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning and see who's up next. All right, next up for the Marlins in the 8-hole, 0-for-2 catcher Joe Mack. Batting second, 1-for-2 with a run, third baseman Javier Sanoja. And batting third, 3-for-3 with a run, DHing Liam Hicks. Trident's up, let's go M's. Missed opportunity for the Mariners with bases loaded there and couldn't cash in, but we will see how things go the rest of the matchup. $91 subs to go to 24,500. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 90 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 10 on the dono train. 90 to go. And we're at 116 likes, 84 to 200. Plenty of time to come back. Yeah. And again, we had bases loaded 3 times against the Pirates and didn't cash in. And sometimes it's just kind of bad luck, you know. It all depends on who's up. Now, if Cole Young would have been up, you know, in that particular inning, you know, to be able to have bases loaded, you know, more times than not, he would have come through. But, you know, it's just one of those things. Baseball's hard. It's not easy. But there's still plenty of time to come back. First pitch from Ferrer to Mack, because we see Ferrer coming in now for Brian Wu. First pitch fouled off right down the middle. 0-1 count. Little chopper up the middle. Emerson is there. Throw to first. Just in time. Great defense there by Emerson. And that is 1 away. Tough play. Great play there on the defense by Colt Emerson. Next up for Jose Ferrer in the 9-hole, 1-for-2 with a run. Third baseman Javier Sanoja. First pitch bunted foul, 0-1 count. And hopefully we can get a good version of Ferrer to keep us somewhat in this game. And Sanoa flies out to center, and that is 2 away. Next up is Liam Hicks. Three for 3 today with a run for Hicks here at the bottom of the 6th, 4-2 Miami. First pitch with a sinker right down the middle, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, big, swing and a miss, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Ferrer to Hicks. Yeah, but it's not the first time that we've had bases loaded with no outs and haven't got anything. It's definitely a disappointing, situation, but, things could be worse. We could be down 4-0 or more. So we have to be thankful that we got it to 4-2. And, would it have been amazing to tie the game up there? Of course. But, this is baseball. You have to just kind of go through the motions, from one inning to the next. And, we'll see what happens, obviously, in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. I still think we have a very good chance of coming back and winning this game, whether it be in regulation or in extras. 0-2 pitch. And that is strike 3 looking. Great job there by Jose Ferrer. That was amazing. Great job there by Jose. And that is the end of the 6th inning. And let's see if we can make up for the bases loaded, no outs, no runs scored situation here. And I think we might have a very good chance of something happening here. Let's go to the top of the 7th. Next up, 0 for 1 with an RBI. Right fielder, Mr. Hustle himself, Luke Raley. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. Already has a home run, Cole Clutch Young. And batting third for the Mariners in the 8-hole, 0 for 2, right fielder Victor Robles, or center fielder today, excuse me. And let's see if Victor can drop down a bunt. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to be positive. 90 subs to go to 24,500. All right, we're at 119 likes, 81 to 200, and we're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go. Yeah, I mean, also we're going against the best team since June 1st. I mean, they're 23-8. They have the best record in baseball in that time. So, and not only do we have to play the best team with the best record in June, then we have to go against the best team in the American League and the Tampa Bay Rays. It's probably the 2 worst options that you could have going into the All-Star break. So we just got to try to do our best and not go 0 for 6, which could happen, So again, 3-3, could be possible. But again, going 2-4 or worse in these last 6 games, it could be possible. But I'm hoping, somehow, some way, that we can go 4-2 in these last 6 games, and to kind of finish strong. But again, if we end up going 3-3 or worse, or 2-4 or worse, don't be shocked, because again, these are 2 of the hottest teams in baseball right now, and we're not in Seattle. We're on the road. So, we'll see. First pitch, Raley crushes one into left field. Drop, baby, yes! Go, go, go! And I told you, Luke Raley starting it off, and a stand-up double for Luke Raley. Let's go! Told you. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Raley starting it off. And now let's see if Cole can get his second home run of the day. He's got 1 multi-homer game in his career early in this season. And again, if we could get Cole to homer again, how awesome would that be? Let's go. Let's go, Cole. And now we got John King into the matchup here. So they're going to their 3rd pitcher of the day, and hopefully we can rough up John King and have a real good inning here. First pitch is low and at the knees to Young with a curveball that fools him. 0-1 count. Let's go, Cole. With runners in scoring position, Cole is batting .306 this season. They don't call him clutch for nothing. 22 for 72 with 36 ribbies. One pitch. Big swing and a miss, low and away. Sinker fooling Young. 1 ball and 2 strikes from King to Young. Come on. Let's go, Cole. Hits with runners in scoring position. Young, number 1 on the team with 22, which is pretty surprising since he's a second-year player. And Young crushes one. Deep right field. All the way back to the wall. Tag up, tag up. And there we go. Rayleigh ends up getting to third. I mean, I thought maybe there was going to be another home run opportunity. Young was getting a hold of it, but it just drops right there at the warning track. But Luke tags up and gets to third. Here we go. Good sac fly there by Cole Young. What a player. All right, next up is Victor Robles. Come on, Victor. First pitch, big swing and a miss. Change up low and away. 85 miles an hour there from King. 0-1 count. Come on, Victor. I mean, if Victor bunted it towards first base, Rayleigh could make it home, but does Victor have the awareness to do something like that? Knowing Victor, he probably would bunt it towards third and then the runner at home would be thrown out. It's like all about baseball IQ. You either have it or you don't. 1 ball and 1 strike from King to Robles. And we got to get Rayleigh to be able to come home. Let him know all day. Having that emergency vet visit really hurt. And, I got dog food to buy for Paisley, which isn't cheap. She's running out and a bag cost about $80. So, anything that can be done would be greatly appreciated since I've got myself in a little bit of a hole taking care of her, but she's worth it. 2-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Good take there by Victor. 3 balls and 1 strike with a runner at third and 1 out. Top of the 7th inning, 4-2 Miami. Three-one pitch. Little dribbler towards third. Rayleigh cannot run, and that is a throw to first, and that is 2 away. All right, we're going to have to hope that Colt Emerson can find a way to get some type of a hit unless he's able to get an unexpected home run to tie this game up 4-4. But an RBI single will be just fine to make it 4-3. We just got to chip away, get it to 4-3, and then hopefully tie it up, if we can't do it this inning, in the 8th or the 9th, and then just, find a way to win this game 5-4, whether it's in the 9th inning or in extras. Just got to be able to chip away. First pitch in there from King to Emerson, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle, slider 84 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes to Colt Emerson. Come on, Colt. 0-2 pitch. And a little dribbler up the middle. Throw to first. And that is out number 3. We leave another runner stranded at third. That's tough. Now we just got to try to get a run in the 8th and a run in the 9th unless we can get 2 in 1 inning. And it's hard to be able to get guys to come home. It's not as easy as people think, and it's not like any of us could do what these professionals are doing on a day in, day out basis, playing 162 games and traveling all around the United States. But again, we just have to hope that they'll be able to dig deep and find a way to get those 2 runs to tie it up and then eventually get that 5-4 victory. Let's see who's up next here as we go to the bottom of the 7th. 0 for 2 with an RBI and 2 Ks. First baseman Kyle Stowers. Batting second, 1 for 3. Their best hitter, shortstop Otto Lopez. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a K, second baseman Xavier Edwards. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. All right, Brazzardo is coming in for Ferrer. And Ferrer did a great job. Sometimes you kind of hope that guys pitch more than one inning or one half inning when they're doing well, but we'll see if this ends up working for us or not. All right, Edward Bizzardo coming in, and hopefully he does a good job. He's been kind of shaky this season. Top of the 7th inning didn't go our way, just like the top of the 6th, but there's still a chance. 4-2 Miami. Come on, Mariner Moose, we need help. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-2 Marlins. Hottest team in baseball since June 1st, 23-8. So it's not ideal that we have to play this team right now and the Tampa Bay Rays after them, but that's what the schedules makers decided to do. So we just got to try to do our best as we go into the All-Star break and try to win 2 out of 3 in both series, which is going to be very, very difficult. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, sweeper, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes from Bizzardo to Stowers. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-2 Marlins. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking. Low and inside, sinker at 96 miles an hour there by Bizzardo. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-2 Miami. 2-1 pitch, high and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike from Bizzardo to Stowers. And Bizzardo has a hard time hitting the strike zone and hitting the corners this season compared to last. He was our best bullpen pitcher last year, and he's nowhere near being the best this year. He's definitely taken a step backwards. 3-1 pitch, fouled off behind the plate. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Bizzardo to Stowers. I wish we had Brash, Cooper Criswell, and Vargas, available in the bullpen. It would do so many great things for us if we had those guys available. 3-2 pitch, and fouls it back behind the plate. Out of play. Sinker at 96 miles an hour. Count now still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-2 Marlins. Three-two pitch, little dribbler, and Cole Young making a play, and that is 1 away. I love players that can play offense and defense, and one of the best on the team already in his 2nd year, Cole Clutch Young. Good job. It's great to be able to have young players like Cole Young and Colt Emerson that you can trust more times than not. Next up, 1 for 3, their best hitter, Otto Lopez. First pitch is high and away with a sinker, 97 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Bizzardo on the mound, Otto Lopez in the box. One-0 pitch, hard hit ball towards third and foul. Sinker 96 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Otto Lopez. 345 batting average. That's crazy. I mean, the only player that we had a stat like that might have been Brandon Donovan early before he got hurt. Batting around 300 to 350, for a little bit before the injury happened. One pitch to Lopez. Low and away. Sinker missing there by Bizzardo. 97 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 7th, 4-2 Miami. We need to have a quick inning here so that way we can get back, to hopefully, chipping away. 2-1 pitch, and he pops Lopez up. Should be a routine play for Victor Robles coming in as he falls down, but keeps a hold of the ball and right next to Luke Raley and Cole Young. Good job there by Victor Robles, and that is 2 away. Next up in the 4-hole, second baseman Xavier Edwards. First pitch to Edwards, fouls it off towards third base, out of play. Sweeper, 84 miles an hour, 0-1 count. So far, so good with Ferrer and Bizzardo. If Bizzardo can get this last out, it'll give us a chance. Since they didn't go with the AAA guys with, Rucker or Simpson or, those types, Nick Davila, so at least they feel that we have a chance still instead of just giving up and saving them for, game 2 and game 3. Pitch fouled off, out of play, right down the middle. Sinker at 96 miles an hour there by Bizzardo. No balls and 2 strikes to Xavier Edwards. Get this last, either punch out, pop up, or ground out, and let's get back to business here as we go to the top of the 8th in a few minutes. Oh, 2 pitch. High and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Xavier Edwards. One-two pitch and a little check swing, foul behind the plate. Splitter, 91 miles an hour, 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. 4-2 Miami. One-two pitch. Low and at the knees. Sweeper missing there. 84 miles an hour there by Edward Bizzardo. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Xavier Edwards. Come on, Bizzardo. Get this last out. Come on, Edward. Big swing and a miss. There we go. All right, we got our final 6 outs, and hopefully we can get at least a run here in the 8th, if not 2. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners in the top of the 8th inning. Next up, 1 for 3 with 2 Ks, third baseman J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a walk, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, 0 for 3 with a K. Time to get your first hit of the game. Let's make it worthwhile. The Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Try dance up. Let's go, M's. 90 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go. And we're at 127 likes. $73 to $200. Try dance up. Let's go, M's. End of the 7th inning, 4-2 Miami. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Marlins. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for Seattle. Casey homered to right center, giving them the early 1-0 lead. Then Sanoa scored on a woo-wild pitch, not ideal, 2-0 Miami. And then Marcy singled to right, Conine scoring, 3-0 Miami. Stowers sac fly, Hicks scored 4-0 Miami, and then Rayleigh had a sac fly that got Cal to score from third, so we finally got on the board 4-1. And then Cole Young, my favorite player, homered to right, 354 feet, 4-2, but we did miss out on an opportunity with Luke Rayleigh at third, and we left him stranded, and then we had bases loaded with no outs, and we weren't able to get even a run, which was sickening, but sometimes that happens in baseball. So let's see if we can make up for that bases loaded and no out debacle and see if we can get another run on the board or two here. First pitch from King to Crawford, takes a strike looking. Low and away. Sweeper, 81 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Top of the 8th, 4-2 Marlins. Come on, Mariners. Trident's up. Let's go. Come on, JP. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from King to Crawford. One pitch, popped up and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. One-two pitch, low and away. Sweeper, 82 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Pitch fouled off, high and away with a sweeper, 82 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Good take there by J.P. Sinker, 90 miles an hour, almost into the dirt. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from King to Crawford. Come on, J.P. Take the walk if it's there. See if we can get a rally started here. 3-2 pitch. And that's a walk, baby. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. J.P. Crawford with that patience. It pays off. And now he goes to first. And we got a mound visit here by the Marlins manager. Or pitching coach. And we're going to have a pitching change. Next up is Randy Orosarena. So they went Meyer, Peterson, King, and now we have another pitcher coming in for the Marlins. All right, Calvin Fauché coming in. right, Calvin Fauché coming in, the righty. First pitch in there for strike to Randy Arozarena, 0-1 count. Come on, Randy. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Fauché to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, right down the middle. Cutter, 94 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first. J.P. Crawford with a walk moments ago before the pitching change, and no outs. One-two pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Fauché to Randy Arozarena. Top of the 8th inning with a runner at first with no outs. Come on, Randy. I need some of that Mariner magic, like in the game I went to on the 4th of July when you hit that grand salami. 2-2 pitch. Oh, he hit him. And Randy's been getting hit lately. He's the guy that gets hit the most. You know, he used to be Ty France, but I hope he's okay. You know, he is, hopefully that's not broken. But he's holding the wrist, and it might be broken. Holy shit. Holy shit. That might be broken. Uh-oh. And he was supposed to be in the All-Star game this year as well, and he's been getting hit in the arm and the wrist lately. And let's look at the replay here. And it looked like it got him kind of on the elbow pad. But then as he's reaching down on the ground, I mean, he's, you know, looking like he's tearing up a little bit there. And I hope that that is not broken. Golly. I mean, the injuries after injuries after injuries. I mean, and again, it's like, it looked like it got him, you know, more on the elbow pad. I mean, he's actually kind of grabbing, you know, more of his wrist area. So I thought, oh, hell, is it broken and whatnot? But I hope he's okay. And Randy, obviously, you know, is, you know, the guy that gets hit the most, you know, and there's a reason why he's got so much padding on that arm. But hopefully, I mean, if it would have went down a little bit further when Robles got hit, I mean, you can end up breaking a bone or fracturing a bone, you know, there on the upper wrist or lower wrist. But again, it looks like it got him more on the elbow. And Randy is going to tough it out, and he's going to make his way to first base. And hopefully now we can make him pay, you know, and now we got runners at first and second with no outs. Let's see if we can end up tying this game up here. Mando, man, best game of the year, you know, 11-0, you know, grand salami by Randy, 3-run jack by Cal, 2-run bomb by Dominic Canzone, who's now up next. And I couldn't think of a better time for Dom for a bomb right here so we can take a 5-4 lead. But it looks like Randy's okay. I mean, he's going to, you know, and again, the way that he was holding his wrist, initially it looked like it hit him on the elbow, but then when I looked at the wrist as he was kind of on all fours, it kind of was bent weird. So usually when an arm is bent in a weird direction, a lot of times that means it's broken, but thankfully it looks like it's not as bad as we initially saw in the replay, and he's at first base. He didn't leave the game, so he's a tough SOB, and let's hope that we can come back now. First pitch from Fauché to Canzone, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. We just got injury after injury, but we're going to fight through it, though. It's all about adversity in life and in baseball. 0-1 pitch, foul back behind the catcher. No balls and 2 strikes from Fauché to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dom. Even getting an RBI single would be huge. If he gets a double, it'll be 4-4. If he gets a single, it'll be maybe 4-3 or bases loaded. Yeah, and I assume that's what happened when it hit the elbow area, even with the padding. The nerves shot down into his wrist, and then obviously he was in a lot of pain. And again, if you get hit almost every other game, you know, eventually it's going to take a toll on your body. I mean, ask Ty France. We know how often he was getting hit when he was on the Mariners. Randy at first, JP at second. Dom in the box. Fauché on the mound. Dominic Canzone in the box. Come on, Dom. 0-2 pitch. Gets away from the catcher there. Recovers quick enough. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Mariner Moose. Give us that good luck that we all know that you typically bring. Let's go. Fauché on the mound. Canzone in the box. Come on, Dom. We need a bomb. And a little bit of a check swing. And he ends up going around. And that is 1 away. Not a very good day for Dominic Canzone seeing the baseball. More times than not, he's on. But, you know, today was a little bit of an off day. Next up, in the 4-hole, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch towards first base and foul. 0-1 count. On deck is Josh Naylor. Both wrists. Holy cow. Oh, 1 pitch. Hard hit ball towards first base. And out of play. No balls and 2 strikes from Fauché to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Come on, Cal. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Sweeper missing there by Fauché. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and second. JP at second, Randy at first with 1 out. Come on. I mean, we already had bases loaded, no outs, and got nothing. We can't, strike out and pop up and ground out with nothing here. Pitch is low and into the dirt. I mean, it would be awesome if we could end up getting a wild pitch from Fauché, and then we can move the runners from first to second and third. Less pressure for Cal in that situation. So let's see what happens here, and hopefully Cal can come up big. Single, double, home run, or potentially climbing back into this count and getting a walk. I don't even really want to talk about guys getting hit by pitches because it hasn't worked for us lately. 2-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. It's like I don't mind when guys get hit, but lately when guys get hit, they get hurt. And that's the last thing that you want, considering we have like the most injuries out of any team up to this point. So it's like as soon as we get one guy back, another guy gets injured, and it's been definitely a very up and down season. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Fauché to big dumper. 2-2 pitch, and just gets a piece, fouls it behind the plate. Sweeper 87 miles an hour, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Get us the RBI that we need. Doesn't even need to be a home run. Let's go. Come on, Cal. Two-two pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Fauché to Raleigh. And take the walk, Cal, if it's there. Cal, normally is overly aggressive, but a few games ago, we had an 0-2 count and he ended up forcing a walk and getting bases loaded and a runner scoring from third to come home. So, again, even though it's not normal in his repertoire to, go from a pitcher's count to actually taking a walk, he has a chance to do it here. But I mean, if it's right down the middle, go for it. Joe Mack calling time, the catcher there for the Marlins. All right, top of the 8th, runners at first and second with 1 out. Fauché on the mound, big dumper with a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Take the walk, Cal, if it's there. If it's right down the middle, go for it. If not, take the walk. 3-2 pitch from Fauché. Hard hit ball towards first base and foul. Count still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. And it kind of feels like if Cal can get a hit, Naylor will. But if Cal doesn't, maybe Naylor won't. So it's like you really got to feed off that Uncle Mo and that momentum. Come on, Cal. 3-2 pitch. Cal! Hard hit ball, deep right field. Off the wall. Go, 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 go. Run, 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 JP. Let's go. Missing a home run by just this much. But at least the score now is 4-3 Miami. There we go. I mean, usually when the count goes long like that and you're on pitch 8, pitch 9, usually the batter tires out, but hits one off the wall and ends up scoring. J.P. Crawford. Now we got runners at second and third with 1 out. Here we go. If we can get to Cole Young in this inning, we're going to win this game. Next up is Josh Naylor, and then you got Luke Raley, and then Cole Young. If somehow, some way, with 1 out, we can get to Cole Young, we will come back and win this game. Let's go. And even if it doesn't get to Cole Young in this inning, we still have a very good chance of winning this game. And remember, we were down 4-0. So again, it's very easy to be negative, based on how the season has gone for us when we end up getting blasted early. But usually the magic number for the Mariners is 5. If we get down by 5 runs, we can still come back. Anything over 5, we don't come back more times than not. So, and it was 4. It was close. Kind of the breaking point, but we were chipping away. We got 2 runs in the 5th. We got 1 run right there by Cal Raleigh in the 8th. Did we miss an opportunity with bases loaded and no outs? Sure as hell we did. Even Luke Raley at third, and we couldn't get him, obviously, in the inning after, but we're still in it. Little dribbler, and Naylor gets a hit. Unbelievable. Randy comes home, and the game is tied. Woo! And interference there on Miami, and now we have runners at second and third and 1 out. Look at the meltdown by Miami, having a 4-0 lead, and then now the Mariners, again, and like I said, I know a lot of times when I say, early in a game when we get blasted, have faith. Some people probably roll their eyes and say, you know what, we're going to get blasted. Just admit it, Orion. But, I truly do feel with the talent on this team, we can come back, and we've proven it, But again, we've also had a lot of bad losses this year as well, and it's definitely easy to jump the gun and be negative. But again, if you can be positive and just, stick with me, and again, sometimes we will come back, other times we won't, but again, sometimes we'll come back and get the victory. Sometimes we'll come back and just fall a little short, but to be down 4-0 and to come back 4-4, imagine if you, ended up leaving the stream and you went to go run errands at 4-0. You probably thought, oh, this game is probably 8-0 by now. And then you look at your phone and look at it's 4-4. Those are the type of things that you need to remember. Anytime when things are going bad, you have to have, not that, long-term memory and short-term memory on wins and losses. You always have to, keep a, kind of a cool head and know that anything can happen. But definitely interference there by Edwards running into the baseline to Naylor. There's no doubt about that. And we get a little bit lucky there with Naylor getting the hit that goes through and getting interference. So not only is he at first, now he's at second. So we got runners now at second and third with 1 out. We got Luke Raley, who can give us a sac fly to make it 5-4, and then maybe Cole Young, getting an RBI or home run, and then maybe it ends up getting to 6-4 or 7-4. And if it ends up getting to that score, we're going to win. First pitch to Luke Raley, big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Cal's in a rundown. And Cal is out at home, going towards home, and that is 2 away. Cal getting caught in between the base paths, and now we get to Cole Young, and nobody is more clutch in the 7th inning and beyond than Cole Clutch Young. He already has a home run today, my favorite player on the team, and let's see if Cole can come up big and give us the lead here. All right, we got runners, a runner at second base now. With 2 outs. First pitch to Young. Low and away, 1-0 count. Come on. Let's go, Cole. 1-0 pitch, low and away. And the thing I like about Cole, he's so patient more times than not. Emerson kind of presses a little bit and is a little overly aggressive, kind of like Randy and Julio and Cal and Naylor. And I feel like with Young, he's more like JP and Dom, where, yeah, he'll swing at the first pitch or two sometimes, but more times or not, he'll work the count. And it definitely shows based on his success this season, him and Dom, kind of doing what JP has been doing for his career, just being patient. Pitch fouled off there, high and away. Sweeper 88 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners now at second and third and 2 outs. Popped up and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Fauché to Cole Clutch Young. Come on, Cole. And Young and Emerson are going to continue to get better and better in their careers. 2-2 pitch, just got a piece. Foul back to the catcher. Count still remains 2 balls, 2 strikes from Fauché to Young. And again, even just an RBI single to give us the 5-4 lead after being down 4-0 to get it to 4-4, it almost feels like a little bit of a mini miracle, and it kind of is. You just have to hope that you can chip away, and slowly but surely the Mariners have chipped away, getting 2 runs in the 5th and 2 runs here in the 8th. Let's go, Cole. He's got 1 multi-homer game in his career a few days back. And again, if he hits a homer here to make it 7-4, more than likely the game is over. Not to say that the Marlins couldn't score 3 runs, obviously in the bottom of the 8th and the bottom of the 9th, they could, but based off momentum. 2-2 pitch, popped up and out of play. But again, it's not necessarily easy to have a multi-homer game for a guy that's kind of undersized. It's not like he's one of those power hitters. He's just kind of a timely hitter that has good, obviously patience in the box and a good follow-through swing. Popped up and out of play. Shows that we have guys at second and third. And we do. We don't have runner at just second. We have runners at second and third based off the game, the broadcast, and ESPN. So we have runners at second and third, not just second. Popped up and out of play. I believe Randy is at third and Naylor is at second, and JP was the one that scored. So, come on, Cole. 2-2 pitch, high and inside. Count now is full. Or maybe it's Rayleigh at second, it looked like, and then maybe Naylor at third. I just saw someone run into the screen there, and it looked like Luke, so. And Young is walked. Let's go. Bases loaded. Unbelievable. Yeah, Cal was thrown out. Cal was thrown out going from third to home. But we have bases loaded now. So Young at first. And let's see. I got to see who's over at third. I guess we'll find out once they zoom out. Next up is Victor Robles. It was just kind of a weird sequence where you kind of lost, touch on who was who and where, individuals were at. So First pitch in there to Victor Robles. Takes a strike looking. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and away. We could just get Victor to be patient here, and we can get a lead. 1 ball and 1 strike from Fauché to Victor Robles. Top of the 8th inning. Bases loaded with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. Hard hit ball into right field, fading foul. Sweeper 87 miles an hour there by Fauché. 1 ball and 2 strikes with bases loaded and 2 outs. Top of the 8th, 4-4 Mariners and Marlins when we were down 4-0. We've come back now to tie the game up, but we're not satisfied with just that. We want to win this game, considering we have a very, very tough set, against the Marlins, and then next the Rays, and then it's the All-Star break. 1-2 pitch, wild pitch, wild pitch, wild pitch, go! Yes! Woo! Let's go! Wild pitch, and we score. Let's go! Naylor scores from third. 5-4 M's, and the meltdown happened. Let's go. And we did say, wouldn't it be nice if we could get a wild pitch? And we said that about 10 minutes ago. Hey, better late than never. We get the wild pitch back, and Naylor comes home. And now we're up 5-4. Unbelievable. And Robles, line drive, drop. Oh, and caught. And now finally the inning ends, but not after. We take a 5-4 lead. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. After down 4-0, now we're up 5-4. Never give up on this team. Again, it's always easy to be negative, based on the season that we've had with all the injuries and the poor management and, the bullpen getting injured and playing bad at times. And, again, sometimes the starting pitcher, not doing what we thought he was going to do today, like Brian Wu. You just got to have that blind faith, and you got to stick with me. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and let's keep that 5-4 lead. Great comeback, Mariners. Next up in the 5-hole, 1 for 3 with a run and 2 Ks, left fielder Griffin Conine. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI, and a base on ball, right fielder Owen Casey. And batting third in the 7-hole, center fielder Jacob Marcy, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Trident's up, let's go M's. And also, if Dan would have brought in the AAA pitchers, we lose this game 100%. So the simple fact that we got a couple runs on the board to make it 4-2, and then, we ended up bringing in, Ferrer and Bizzardo instead of like Rucker and Davila or Simpson. That was really the difference. And, nice to be able to see Dan not just wave the white flag and say, we're down 4-0, let's just wait till tomorrow and see what happens. And now we got Gabe Spire coming in. So they're really pulling out all the stops, with Ferrer, Bizzardo, and Spire coming in to try to win this game. And we got to have the good Gabe, not the bad. What a comeback by the M's. 2 runs in the 5th, 3 runs in the 8th. And I told you, even with bases loaded and no outs and getting nothing, that doesn't mean the game is over. You have to have faith that we can turn it around, and they did. Great job. Raleigh with a double to right, Crawford scoring, Naylor single to right, Rosarina scored on an error, and then Naylor scoring on a Fauché wild pitch. 5-4 Seattle after being down 4-0. Wow. Let's go. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Jay and Hippie in the building. What's good? Hernandez now pinch hitting. First pitch popped up and out of play, and hopefully we can have a very quick inning of pop-ups and ground outs if possible. Appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, still, now, obviously having to spend, $1,100 in 3 months on 3 vet visits, it's not ideal. And then now she's running out of dog food, so now I got to worry about that and whatnot. So, but again, she still has the cone. She's taking 3 separate medications. She's not throwing up anymore, which is good. And, obviously, after the cone comes off, with the hot spot on her tail that she was nibbling on. I got to make sure that she doesn't do that again. And, just making sure, she had an ear infection the month before that. And then she had her annual visit. It's just, usually I only have budgeted one, vet visit a year, for like an annual checkup. But then for whatever reason, she's had these two separate things, right after, and it's really hurt my pocketbook tremendously. So obviously anything that can be done, by anybody in the room is greatly appreciated to kind of help me stay afloat until I end up, obviously getting paid from YouTube, which is only once a month. 2-1 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike from Spire to Hernandez. And that's like the one downside, when people get paid weekly, people get paid bi-weekly every 2 weeks. When you get paid once a month, I don't care who you are, it's tough to manage. It's not easy. 3-1 pitch. And there for a strike. Nice pitch there by Gabe Spire, 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count now is full from Spire to Hernandez. Now, I can't do that. Plus, I've been giving her the same type of healthy food since she was a baby. Hard hit ball, deep left field, back, gone! And Gabe Spire gives up a home run. Unbelievable. And just like that, 5-5, Mariners and Marlins. Yikes. And that's the bad Gabe. Come on, Pat McAfee lookalike. Jesus. Now Ruiz is coming in to pinch hit. But I guess we have to be happy it wasn't like a 2-run jack or a 3-run bomb. Oh, yikes. But again, we were down 4-0. So you had to assume at some point they probably could have a chance of getting something. But I mean, if you're going to lay it right down the middle, Gabe has that tendency, to get an out or give up a run. And sometimes a big home run. And he did it again. First pitch to Ruiz is low and away with a sinker, 1-0 count. Can't let them score anymore. We just got to try to win this game 6-5 in regulation or in extras. They show bunt, high and inside. He pulls back at the last minute. 2 balls and no strikes from Spire to Ruiz. And we got a mound visit there by Cal and Spire. Bottom of the 8th, 5-5 Mariners and Marlins. Estory Ruiz in the box. Gabe Spire on the mound. Shows bunt again, and another pitch high and inside, pulls back at the last minute. 3 balls and no strikes from Spire to Ruiz. Come on, Gabe. How are you pitching like fucking Fauché? You got to be better. I mean, Ferrer and Bizzardo did their job. Come on. And a 4-pitch walk. Jesus. If Gabe was going to pitch like that, we might as well have brought in Nick Davila, or one of the AAA guys from the fucking bullpen. Yikes. I guess it's too much to ask to have 3 guys, normally our top 3, with Ferrer, Bizzardo, and Spire to do all, lights out work. 2 out of 3 worked, but I guess not with Gabe. But we have to keep this game tied if we have any chance of winning. If we let them score, we may not come back. And that's why it shows you how important it is to have Brash and Cooper Criswell and Vargas, even though we can't trust those guys, all the time. But I feel more comfortable with those 3 than the bullpen with the AAA guys that we have as of late. Even though Davila has been pretty good and Rutgers kind of hit or miss. And a bunt, drop down, and foul. Come on, Gabe. The way that this game is going, it could go either way. I mean, Miami was up 4-0. We came back to tie it 4-4, right? Then we took a 5-4 lead, and now they just tied the game up. So, I mean, it's very back and forth. It's, it's anybody's game. And another bunt. Get it, Cal. There we go. If Gabe Spire would have got that ball, no way in hell that would have been an out at first. And good job by Cal Raleigh taking the initiative there. Because if Gabe gets that, throws it to first, more than likely throws it over the head of Naylor, and then they probably would have ended up extending their runners. And nice job there by the big dumper. Good job, Cal. Now we got a runner at second with one out. Next up is Joe Mack. We got a mound visit with Cal. Trying to get Gabe on the same page. All right, we got Cole Young, we got Gabe Spire and Cal huddled up right here, trying to motivate Gabe to get these last two outs to keep this game at 5-5, not 6-5, 7-5, 8-5 Miami. And if we're able to keep the game tied, there's a very good chance that we could still win this game. Come on, Gabe. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Best record in baseball since June 1st, the Miami Marlins, 23-8. And then we play the best team in the American League, the Tampa Bay Rays, after this. And then it's the All-Star break. So I don't know whoever made the schedule. That wasn't really ideal for us. But again, it'll be a good test to see where we hang with these two really good teams. First pitch from Spire to Mack. Takes a strike looking with a sinker, 92 miles an hour, right down the middle, 0-1 count. And he steps off the mound, takes a look at second as the crowd boos there in Miami. Bottom of the eighth inning, runner at second with one out. We're tied at 5. After the Marlins had a 4-0 lead, we tied it 4-4. Took a 5-4 lead in the eighth, scoring 3 runs. But then we just gave up a home run from Gabe Spire, making it 5-5. And hopefully we'll be able to find a way to win this game 6-5 or 7-6. And a little dribbler behind the plate. And foul. Slider 83 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes with the runner at second and 1 out. Bottom of the eighth inning. We're tied at 5. Yeah, Vargas has been out the whole year. So he didn't even get any time to play in the regular season. So, pretty much missed the whole year and won't be available until August. And we don't even know when August rolls around if he'll be able to go. And then Criswell and Brash aren't going to be available until that time also. So 3 key guys in the bullpen and have to replace those with AAA guys. I mean, I'd be happier with Sloan and Anderson, in the pen than the 3 that we have. But obviously they want to move those guys slowly from AA to AAA. But we did get Lazaro Montes and Michael Arroyo promoted yesterday to AAA. So we may end up seeing Lazaro, in right field at one point. Who knows with all the injuries that we have. And Arroyo's an infielder. So Arroyo's a good hitter. Lazaro is a home run hitter and a power hitter. So we'll see. 1-2 pitch. And Cal drops it as the runner goes into third. Safe. Big stolen bag there by the Marlins. Two pitch. Hard hit ball in the left field, out of play. Count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes from Spire to Mack. Can't let this runner score at third. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Bottom of the 8th, runner at third with 1 out. We're tied at 5. Fucking A, man. Gabe can't hit the goddamn strike zone if his life depended on it. It's like Fauché for the Marlins. It's like, all it takes is one guy to really just kill all the momentum that you had, up to that point. Ferrer did a good job. Pizzardo did a pretty good job. Wu was terrible today. But again, it's hard for our starters to play, top tier on the road this season, apparently. So we've had 2 good and 2 bad so far. 3-2 pitch from Spire. And that's a walk, but Cal is challenging. And I don't know if you're going to be able to get this call. It looked a little outside, but it might have got the corner. Who knows? And it is outside. We lose the challenge. And now we got runners at first and third with 1 out. All right, next up in the 9 hole, third baseman Javier Sanoa. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. God damn, he can't even get it over the plate into the dirt. Slider 83 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Bottom of the 8th inning, runners at first and third with 1 out. We need a double play. One 0 pitch. Popped him up. Bat is broken. And JP is there, and that is 2 away. Great job there by Spire and JP. So Noah breaking his bat in frustration after popping up. And now 3 for 3. Hottest hitter today for the Marlins. DH and Liam Hicks. Can't let him go 4 for 4. First pitch, line drive. Get it, Cole. Get it, Cole. Yes, let's go. And just like that, it feels good to leave them stranded. And when you got someone like Cole Young, you can even bail out, pitchers like Spire, like having a meltdown there, gave up the home run, had runners at first and third. And, we've seen, a game kind of get away from us in that situation. But great job there by Cole Young, one of the best on the team, and gets that throw to Naylor in time. End of the 8th inning. We're tied at 5. Now we just got to be able to score and win this game 6-5 or 7-6. Great job. Next up, in the top of the 9th inning, 0 for 2 with a base on ball, shortstop Colt Emerson. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run and a base on ball and 2 Ks. Third baseman, JP Crawford. Let's go, JP. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run and a base on ball, left fielder Randy Orosarena. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Gained 4 subs since the last commercial break. 86 subs to go to 24,500. We're at 10 on the Dono train, 90 to go. And with almost 400 in the room, we should be close to 200 likes. We're at 163. We need 37 more. We can get 37 people out of the 391 to hit the like button. We will be at 2. Fairbanks is coming in. All right, Pete Fairbanks coming in. First pitch from Fairbanks to Emerson, low and away, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike from Fairbanks to Emerson. Pete Fairbanks on the mound. Colt Emerson in the box. 1-1 pitch, check swing. Did he go? Looks like he went around. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colt Emerson. Come on, Colt. One-two pitch, low and away. Slider missing there by Pete Fairbanks. 83-mile-an-hour slider, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the 9th inning, we're tied at 5. 2-2 pitch, and that is strike 3. Emerson is going to challenge. Pitch looked a little low, but it might have gotten the corner. Let's look. And it just gets the corner, and down goes Emerson. And that is 1 away. No more challenges left for Seattle, unfortunately. Next up, third baseman J.P. Crawford. On deck is Randy Orosarena. First pitch to JP, takes a strike right down the middle with a four-seam fastball, by Pete Fairbanks. 97 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch. What a weird delivery by Fairbanks. One of the most awkward deliveries I think I've seen all year. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Single, a walk, and a run so far for JP tonight. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is outside, high and away. Slider 82 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike from Fairbanks to Crawford. Two-one pitch to JP. High and away. Good take there by Crawford. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. 3-1 pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Fairbanks to Crawford. Take the walk if it's there, JP. Fairbanks on the mound. JP Crawford in the box. Come on, JP. 3-2 pitch. Check swing. Just wouldn't have went for that check swing. It would have been ball 4. Let's see if JP can force the walk or get a single or double here. Come on, JP. Or maybe an unexpected home run. You don't really expect JP to ever really homer. And now they're going to have a mound visit there. All right, so we got Pete Fairbanks on the mound. And we got J.P. Crawford in the box. Come on, J.P. Take the walk if it's there. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. And that is 2 away. Back-to-back punch-outs on Emerson and Crawford. All right, Randy. Try to get the job done. On deck would be Dominic Canzone. who's had a rough day today. But again, let's see if we can just make something happen with 2 outs here. First pitch is low and away to Orosarina. Cutter missing there by Fairbanks. 1-0 count. Top of the 9th inning, 5-5 Mariners and Marlins after the Marlins had a 4-0 lead on Seattle. But with a very, patient comeback, we have found a way to be able to have this game. We did have a 5-4 lead before Spire gave up the solo dinger there in the 8th, which was unfortunate because we probably could have won 5-4, but now we just got to be able to dig deep and try to win this game 6-5 somehow, some way. 1-0 pitch, takes a big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Orosarina. One pitch in there for a strike to Orosarina. 1 ball, 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 9th, 5-5 Mariners and Marlins. 1-2 pitch. And Randy with a little blooper into right. Drop. Yes. Let's go. And Randy coming up big with a nice blooper into right field. My man. There we go. Nice job, Randy. And now we got to have Dom see if he can do some magic here. It's been an off day for him. And again, even if you start off your day 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, that doesn't mean that you're going to go 0 for 5. And let's see if Dom can give us a little bit of magic here. Good job there by Randy Orosarina, the All-Star. Come on, Dom. Throw back to first. Randy is safe. Come on, Dom. It doesn't necessarily have to be a home run to help us win this game. Obviously, it would be the best case scenario for him to get to 15 home runs on the season. And Dom with a hard hit ball, deep right field. Back to the warning track and caught, and that is out number 3. Dom has had a couple deep balls, but just not deep enough. And they got Andres Munoz warming up in a 5-5 tie, which doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes, he'll have another, player come in, but let's see what Mooney will be able to do here. All right, Andres Munoz coming in, who's definitely had a very up and down season for the Mariners this year. Mostly bad, not a whole lot of good, if we're being honest, but he's very hit or miss, but we'll see what happens. Next up, 0 for 3 with an RBI and 2 Ks, Kyle Stowers. Batting second, 1 for 4, shortstop, Otto Lopez. And batting third, 1 for 4 with 2 Ks, second baseman, Xavier Edwards. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Let's go, Mooney. $86 subs to go to 24,500. Gain 3 more subs during the commercial break. Appreciate you. 83 subs to go to 24,500. And hopefully we'll get pretty close to hitting 200. If not, we have 408 in the room. So what do we need? We need 9 more individuals to hit the like button, and we're at 200. That would be great. If we get 9 people out of 393, we're there. All right, Mooney in the game for the Mariners. And starting it off is Kyle Stowers. And we're going to know how good Mooney is, like I mentioned in every stream, first 7 pitches. If he can hit some strikes, then he's on. But again, if he's walking guys, hitting guys, giving up back-to-back hits, then you know what type of day it typically is. First pitch is in there for a strike on the corner, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch popped up and behind the plate, out of play. And a good start here for Mooney. No balls and 2 strikes from Munoz to Stowers. Bottom of the 9th inning, 5-5 Mariners and Marlins. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 0-2 pitch from Mooney. Low and away with a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Stowers. One-two pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Stowers, and that is 1 away, and it feels like this might be the good Mooney. Great job there by Andres Munoz, and that is 1 away. Next up, in the 3-hole, shortstop Otto Lopez on deck, and the 4-hole hitter, second baseman Xavier Edwards. Let's go, Mooney. Got to try to keep this game at 5-5, and we have to try to find a way to win 6-5 and 10. First pitch, high and inside. 1-0 count. Just missing the strike zone there, maybe by an inch. One-0 pitch popped up and out of play there by Otto Lopez. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning, 5-5 Mariners and Marlins after Miami had a 4-0 lead. We took the lead back at 5-4, but they had a solo dinger there in the bottom of the 8th off Gabe Spire to tie it up 5-5, and it's anybody's game at this point. One pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball missing there by Andres Munoz. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning, 5-5 Mariners and Marlins. Two-one pitch, big swing and a miss there by Otto Lopez, low and away. Nasty slider there by Mooney. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Munoz to Lopez. 2-2 pitch, popped him up, and hopefully this will be a routine play. Emerson is there, and get the hell out of the way, Randy. And that is 2 away. Randy almost running into Emerson. If Emerson says he has it, get the hell out of the way, Randy. And that is 2 away. So far, so good here with Mooney. And first pitch to Edwards popped up. Randy is there, and that is out number 3. Let's go. Great inning there by Andres Munoz, and now we have a chance to win this game in the top of the 10th. Good job, Mooney. Next up for the Mariners, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second in the 5-hole, first baseman, Josh Naylor. And batting third, right fielder, Luke Raley. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 83 subs to go to 24,500. And that is the end of the 9th inning, 5-5, Mariners and Marlins. Gained another sub during the commercial break. Thank you so much. 82 subs to go to 24,500. Shout out to our female audience, as well as everyone watching in the United States, Canada, Mexico, South America, Asia, and beyond, as well as all of our new subs and all of our OGs. All right, we're at 213 likes. Thank you so much. 87 to 300. All right, we're in the top of the 10th. Hopefully we can find a little bit of that Soto mojo and that Mariner magic. And again, usually with the Mariner Moose, that provides that. 3-game set here against the Marlins, 3:30 Pacific, 3:30 Pacific, obviously tomorrow and Thursday. And then obviously we got the Rays at 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 10:30 a.m. on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Home Run Derby on Monday. All-Star game on Tuesday. 2 days off after that. And then we're right back at it with some more Mariner baseball. All right, we got Weston Wilson as our runner at second base, or our ghost runner. Paisley is in the room now, wanting to watch the finish of this matchup with the cone on her head. Very curious to see if we get this victory. Got Cade Gibson on the mound, lefty, going against Big Dumper as a righty, which I like. And sometimes you got to mix it up. And a little slow dribbler. Throw to third and out. Yikes. And Weston Wilson, you should have stayed at second. But again, that's what happens when you get a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of experience, not knowing what he's doing. You got a ghost runner at second. You got to let him, eventually get to third, and you don't have to get to third on the first batter. Bad luck there for Weston Wilson and Cal Raleigh, and that is one away. Cal ends up being safe, but he's at first. It would have been much better to have a runner at third. But first pitch into Josh Naylor is a strike, high and inside, 0-1 count. In and out was amazing. I never had it before. I ended up getting the Neapolitan shake, which was top tier. I did a 3x3 for the first time, top tier. And then, did the crispy fries and got the animal style. So I got both to kind of try them out and whatnot. And top tier, it kind of felt, we went inside to eat. So it definitely felt like a fast food diner vibe. And there was still a lot of people there, even though on the 4th of July. But I definitely will be going back one day. 0-2 pitch. And Naylor pops up. Should be a routine play in center. And that is 2 away. Next up is Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. We need a nuke from Luke. Oh, it's Garver that's pinch hitting. All right, got Mitch Garver in. First pitch into Garver is in there for a strike, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. In there for another strike. No balls and 2 strikes from Gibson to Garver. Miguel in the building. What's good? Yeah, 11-0 on the 4th of July. It was amazing. It was absolutely a great day, considering that'll probably be the only game I go to unless I go to a playoff game. So, yeah, that's where we went. We went to the In-N-Out in Ridgefield on our way back. That's where we went. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. I will say with the animal style, if you get them like regular, once you eat all the toppings of the cheese and then like the grilled onions and all, the stuff on the top, underneath that last section of fries is like almost unedible, so I kind of like the crispy fries better because they kind of taste hollow and then they're like super crispy. So I'd rather go crispy than the animal style personally, but unless you get the animal style crispy, then that would be another way you could go, but based on trying both. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gibson to Garver, but I've never had a hollow, crispy fry like that before. And it was definitely unique, and it, definitely is something I'll be ordering again. And I thought the shake was great. 3x3 was great. It was a great, victory meal on the way home from Ridgefield back to Oregon. 2-2 pitch to Garver. It goes into the dirt. Curveball. Count now is 3 balls and 2 strikes from Gibson to Garver. Top of the 10th inning with a runner at first, Cal Raleigh with 2 outs. Game tied at 5 after the Mariners were down 4-0. We came back and took the lead 5-4. And Garver with a line drive towards third and foul. Or is it fair? Whoa, I was going to say, though, why is the left fielder running like it's fair, but it was foul? Clearly foul. So they hit a home run off Gabe Spire when we had the 5-4 lead after being down 4-0. We took the lead 5-4. They hit a home run in the 8th, making it 5-5, and that's where we sit right here. And Garver fouls it off himself. Curveball there by Gibson. Count still full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Mitch Garver. Yeah, grand salami by Randy, 3-run jack by Cal, 2-run bomb by Dom, hits by Emerson and Cole Young. It was fantastic. And a 1-hitter by Gilbert. And a little dribbler there by Garver, throw to first, and that is out number 3. And that might have been the worst execution, of having a ghost runner at second all year. You have Weston Wilson coming into the game, and then obviously Cal hitting it, in between second and third. And then, obviously they're going to throw to third instead of first. And then if you're going to win a game, you have to get that runner from second to third, the ghost runner. If the ghost runner gets thrown out, you're screwed. I mean, more times than not. Now, is it possible that you could still hit a home run after the ghost runner gets thrown out at third? Yeah, it's possible, but more times than not, it's kind of just a wasted inning, and that's kind of what it was, unfortunately. And then obviously having Garver come in is not ideal either, but I guess it's better than Rob Refsnyder, but they still got the same result. All right, next up for the Marlins will be Hernandez, Ruiz, and Marcy. We're running out of pitchers, so I'm wondering who's coming in. Heriberto Hernandez is coming in. And Hernandez was the one that pinch hit and got the home run off Gabe Spire, so obviously we can't have him do that again. And then Ruiz is coming in after that. And Michael Rucker is coming out. So we have to go to our AAA guys now, which is scary. So Hernandez and then Ruiz are the next 2 up. And then I believe Jacob Marcy. And we got Michael Rucker, a AAA pitcher, coming in. First pitch, hard hit ball into right and caught. Master Boney is in the game, and runner ends up advancing to third. right, one out with a runner 90 feet away at third, and that's what I was hoping that we would be able to do, but all right, S30 Ruiz is in. Got to keep this runner at third. Michael Rucker on the mound, Ruiz in the box. We're going to mound visit with Cal, which is smart, to kind of try to calm him down since we already have a runner at third right now. But Hernandez did a great job getting that runner moved over. Wish we were able to do the same in that top of the 10th inning. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. On the mound for the Mariners, AAA pitcher Michael Rucker and S30 Ruiz in the box with a runner at third. Hernandez 90 feet away at third base. First pitch from Rucker to Ruiz, high and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, gets the corner for a strike, and a challenge is coming. We have to pray that this ends up hitting the corner here. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Ball is overturned. 2 balls and no strikes from Rucker to Ruiz. Bottom of the 10th, runner at third with 1 out. We need a miracle to be able to get out of this. 2-0 pitch, popped up and out of play. Curveball there by Rucker. 82 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at third and 1 out. Bottom of the 10th, 5-5 Mariners and Marlins. Marlins were up 4-0. Mariners came back and tied the game up 4-4. Even took a 5-4 lead, but then lost the lead with a solo dinger off Gabe Spire in the 8th, making it 5-5, and that's where we sit at the moment. 2-1 pitch, outside. Count now is 3 balls and 1 strike from Rucker to Ruiz. 3-1 pitch, and another pitch that's going to be challenged. That was called strike by the ump, and Ruiz will challenge again, and we'll see if we end up getting the corner on this one or not. And that ends up being a walk. All right, runners at first and third with 1 out. Next up is Jacob Marcy. I mean, we need a double play or something, something to be able to, unless we can get this runner to pop up and then keep that runner stranded at third, like a pop up into the infield. One-0 pitch to Marcy. Popped him up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rucker to Marcy. Bottom of the 10th, runners on the corners at first and third and 1 out. Come on, Mariner Moose. Rucker on the mound. Marcy in the box. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. Just misses the corner. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners on the corners at first and third and 1 out. Bottom of the 10th, 5-5 Mariners and Marlins. 2-1 pitch, hard hit ball, deep right field, and gone! It looks like it actually hit the wall. I thought it was gone, but they end up scoring the run anyways, and that is the ball game. Yikes. I mean, whether that ended up being a home run or just off the wall, which it ended up being, but it ended up scoring that runner at third. And that's what happens when you run out of pitchers. You know, if you don't have a solid pitcher, you know, or if Gabe Spire would have done his job, maybe we would have been able to win 5-4. But when you're down 4-0 and you have heart and you come back and you get it to 5-4 and then 5-5, you know, we did everything that we could. And again, you know, it would have been nice to have Ferrer pitch more than one inning. But again, you got to give the Marlins credit. They're the hottest team in baseball since June 1st. They were 23-8, and now they improved to 24-8 since June 1st. And again, it's a 3-game series. And again, I'm going to go into the stats here in just a moment, and hopefully we'll be able to respond tomorrow. But again, Marcy singles to right. Edwards scores from third. Final score, Marlins 6, Mariners 5. All right, let's go over the stats here real quick. All right, Liam Hicks, 3 for 5 with a run, had a great game. Kyle Stowers, 0 for 4 with an RBI. Otto Lopez, 1 for 5, but still batting .343. Xavier Edwards, 1 for 5 with a run. Griffin Conine, 1 for 3 with a run. Owen Casey, 1 for 2 with a big home run into the upper deck. Jacob Marcy, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Obviously, the MVP for the game winner there at the end. Joe Mack, 0 for 3. And Xavier Sanoja ended up going 1 for 4 with a run. And let's go on the flip side here. All right, JP Crawford, 1 for 4 with a run. Randy Arozarena, 2 for 3 with a run. Dominic Canzone with a rare 0 for 5 appearance. He's got to be better tomorrow. Cal Raleigh, 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Josh Naylor, 1 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Luke Raley, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Cole Clutch Young, 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. Great job, Cole. Victor Robles, 0 for 4. And Colt Emerson, 0 for 3. You know, and some of these guys got to be a little bit better as we go into the next game. And again, this game could have been an easy, 5, 6, 7, 8-0 type of victory, but at least we fought. And hopefully that'll carry over into tomorrow. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Final score, Marlins 6, Mariners 5 in 10. And we'll be live tomorrow, same time, same place, 3:30 Pacific on Wednesday and Thursday against the Miami Marlins. And after that, we'll be facing the Tampa Bay Rays. It won't get any easier. The #1 team in the American League in a 3-game set after that. And then we go to the Home Run Derby, All-Star Game. And then obviously we are in the break. So love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Final score, Marlins 6, Mariners 5 and 10. And I got one question for you. Well, you know, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, Tridents up, and go Mariners.